Yeah, I would request all the attendees to kindly mute themselves, both audio and video, so that the session doesn't get interrupted. And throughout the session, we request all the audience to kindly mute audio, video, and please do not disturb. So, on behalf of NNF Karnataka, we would like to welcome Susee, and she's a well-known personality across the country, and she's got vast experience in designing, building from scratch to till the finish. So she's got very huge experience, and she has worked with the major brands of India, major companies of India, a well-reputed company, and one of them is Cloud9 Hospitals, and there are many other brands which she has worked with. So now I request Kishore to give a brief introduction about her, and on behalf of NF Karnataka, thank you very much for accepting our request to be part of as a speaker for our web series session, Rebuilt. And this is a session which has been intended to create entrepreneurs and all the doctors to have a clear idea about what are the difficulties, what are the problems, and the challenges they face when they're planning to set up their own hospital, or if they're running their own hospital, how best they utilize uh, all the knowledge which we are sharing through this web series. Now I request our Vice President, Kishore Kumar sir, to introduce Suji and then start the session. Kishore sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Prashant, and thanks all the office bearers of NNF Karnataka and Susee for having accepted the invitation. Susee, we have known her for the last 15 years. When I met her first, when we started Cloud9, and she has an architect degree from Ontario College of Arts and Design University from Toronto in Canada. She has over 3 decades of experience in the architectural realms, spanning over the Asian and the entire American subcontinents. She is truly an international medical architect. She started her career at Hudson Bay in Canada, designing retail stores across Canada. After a stint of 8 years in Canada, she left the company and started Skydome Designs in Canada in 1997. She then joined as Vice President, Design Faculty, Design Services in Dallas and Texas, focusing on healthcare facilities. Later in the same company as a Vice President to design healthcare facilities in India and the US. At present, she is heading Skydome Designs from India and had the privilege to work on a number of top healthcare facilities in India and large retail facilities. And she was our primary architect when we recruited her for Cloud9 to start with. So our flagship center, which became a national icon of Cloud9 success, was designed by her. And definitely we are very privileged to have her deliver this lecture today. We can learn a lot from her. India is a country with too many architects, but there are not medical architects, too many people with the knowledge and experience she has. And so we are very fortunate in having delivered this lecture to us. And the next speaker is Dinakara Prithviraj, who needs absolutely no introduction for the NNF Karnataka. He's going to talk about fraudulent practices in the hospital practices. Over to you, Susee. Susee, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah. The subject that was, good evening all once again. The subject that was given to me is taking up, I take it as the way that you have told me, Dr. Kishore, is designing for brownfield and greenfield projects, focusing on to the peripheral cities and the major cities. Am I correct? So I'm taking it in terms of, from my experiences, the experiences that we have been working along with healthcare projects in major cities in class 2, that is tier 1 cities and tier 2 cities, and tier 3 cities, which is a minimal thing. Mostly that our experiences were in India. I'm talking about the challenges and the major fun part working in India with the healthcare projects in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. All right. So I'm taking my experiences through this short presentation. So if I have to take it as a presentation, each subject can take forever, but I'm taking it very briefly on the outcome and what we have to generally look for when we are going in for a greenfield project or a brownfield project, or we are going in for a renovation. All right. Now, the heading, that is the reason I'm calling it for design for brownfield and greenfield hospitals. The hospitals are complex environments. I'm just briefly going through what is a hospital. My definition towards hospital is hospitals are complex environments where births, deaths, and hundreds of medical interventions takes place, where professionals from a variety of disciplines and backgrounds converge to provide care, where patients and their families come in search for a healing reaction. So the purpose here is whether you are sick, whenever you are sick, so walking into a healthcare center to make them feel comfortable and to reassure them that they are going to be all right and walking. And again, an institution that provides prevention, treatment, and management of illness and preservation of mental and physical well-being and the by well-being and allied health professionals.
Dr. Prashant, we cannot hear her.
Susee, this thing is muted. Can you unmute?
And please, many people are asking her to increase her volume. Many people cannot hear Prashant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Ma'am, be little louder, ma'am.
That is the maximum volume that I can get.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, hospital. At one point, it was all a scary feeling going into a hospital. And nowadays, it has become a place where it is like going to a mall, or it is like a fun feeling, going in there to a nice, a nice environment. People are all welcome. Colors are all beautiful. The approach towards the patients are beautiful. And then you are getting it all under your, you just want to feel comfortable. And most of the time nowadays the insurance is covering up a lot of things, so you don't mind going into a better environment, a fun environment. I call it a fun environment. The reason is it is not like hospital, it looks like a 5-star hotel. Most of the hospitals nowadays, whether it is a high-end hospital or a medium hospital or a, to a class 3 cities, the ordinary hospital itself is by bringing in vibrant colors, by bringing in vibrant feeling, open spaces, lot of daylight in, the feel of it is totally different. So as we call it, vibrant colors and eye-catching materials on the interior and exterior, elements today that best designs have proven to improve the patient care. The classifications and the types of healthcare facilities. I wanted to take you through in it very briefly. Clinics. Number one, I call clinics. Clinics are usually used by individual doctors. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. And then clinics are usually used by single doctors. Specialty clinics, in other words, I wanted to call it a general physician's clinic, 2 specialty clinics. Specialty clinics in terms of pediatric, orthopedic, gynec clinics, and small hospitals. Small hospitals, I call it 2-3 doctors, friends, getting together, creating one outlet for consultation, because they can share the rooms, they can share the expenses. That is, I call it a small hospital. A nursing home in terms that a family of doctors, husband, wife, and the children with multiple disciplines. They put together a hospital. They want to work together. Maybe that is, I've seen quite a number of them in the now, and that is that I call it a nursing home. Maximum 20 beds, maybe. That's all you can get it. Day hospitals where you can walk in for the day. I call it normally in US and Canada, we call it a walk-in clinics and walk-in hospitals. You walk in there, multiple disciplinary consultants will be there. A small stay for a day. By be a small or maybe a pharmacy, a small pharmacy where they can get their prescriptions there. Multi-speciality and super speciality, that we call it, all the disciplines of medicines will be there. Plus, as the examples that I'm taking now is normally, since you are all neonatologists and gynec professions, I'm taking it as an example for mother and child and pediatric right now. So this could be part of the a department would be there for all these specialties. Now, feasibility analysis as I go through planning. Now I'm getting into the planning aspects of the design, planning aspects of the hospital. Like as a designer, from a designer's point of view, what we look for. A lot of time, a lot of people come to us in the very initial stages. At that particular time, what we have to look for is, number one, is the location. Depends on what we are looking for. If it is a mother and child hospital, where the location should be, we have to do a feasibility analysis by ourselves initially before we go on to the finalization of a property. We look for the locations initially. Accessibility, how do we get onto that area? Infrastructure developments in and around there. What is in and around there? What are the other projects that are happening in that particular site, particular city? That sort of an analysis. And then we go on to the site analysis. And then we go on to the blocking and site utilization options. So blocking in terms of what is the entry, where is the exit, where is the parking, where is the basement, whether we are going for a two-story building, or depends on this space available. Take a decision at that particular point by block areas and the maximum utilization options that we can come across with the site that we have. Now, going into detail, the elements of spatial plan for our hospitals. We take up, now that we have a site, now that we know what is to do for, what is going to happen with that particular site, what sort of an operation that is going to take place, what sort of requirements that we need for each and every decisions that we are making of the type of building that is going to come. So we divide that into categorization. Number one, we call it interior design, interior spatial aspects. Number three, we call it MEP, electrical, mechanical, plumbing. Data that we have from particular premises. Now, all right, these are strictly, I'm talking in terms of design aspects only. Number one, architectural aspects that we know, that architectural design, we know. Normally what happens is architects design a building, then we try to fit in what is there, what are the operations of the building, we try to fit it in. In other words, when we are doing the planning, when we are working on a project, we know we have an for the first thumb rule, we call it form follows all, right? First, we analyze all the functions that is going to take place based on our utility of the purpose, and then we categorize the functions of the building, and then we segregate the building, like in terms of admin areas, OPDs areas, diagnostics, therapeutic areas, other support services areas, MEP areas, based on each of activities that is happening in areas, right? Based on that, we segregate each and every area, calculate actions that is taking place in every department. Yeah. And categorization of each activity forms together, and that activity is in terms of the adjacent of operational point of view together a design. So that design, putting together those designs, interior elements that we put together before we finalize the architectural elements of the building. We work in the other way. I work in the other way because that is the way we were taught, in fact, to design a building based on the purpose of the building, based on the activities of the building, based on the utility of the building. So that put together, we design architectural element part of it. So interior part of it put together along with the architectural part of it, and how are we going to run all the mechanical, electrical, plumbing? How are we going to run all the HVAC systems? How are we going to run the ducts? How are we going to take up all the electrical panels? How are we going to take it in terms of the fire norms and the fire safety regulations? Where is going to be fire? It all that together form, right? So this I just wanted to very briefly go through because the elements of spatial planning of a hospital, I'm calling it admin areas. Admin areas, that one area calls up a different multiple functions of registrations, accounts, insurance, offices for management, MRD, all those things, reception, general reception, all that comes under admin areas. Now, another function which is called an OPD. What is an OPD? Outpatient consultation, IVF, OBGYN, pharmacy in relation to OP, emergency, reception, feeding rooms, play area, diagnostics, related diagnostics, and all that goes into the OPD part of it. Again, if you elaborate it, OP consultation, what comes under OP consultation? How many rooms? What are the waiting area in related to that? Where is it going to be? The calculation also matters a lot. If you doctors are meeting 3 patients in 1 hour, the number of people waiting in there will be 4 times more, right? 1 patient walking in with 3 people, husband, mother, and the children. So all that together, when we put it, if you're overlapping one patient to another patient, that is double the number. If you're overlapping or if you're running short of 10 minutes more, then we are multiplying the number to 3 times. So the waiting area, when we are calculating, not just calculating for the number of people walking in, we have to provide at least 3 times more, right? And feeding rooms, especially, these are all value-added services and a must, especially that we have to look into mother and child hospitals. Play area, a lot of times mother walking with the first baby. So you have to keep them entertained. That is one area that we can look into. Diagnostics, that's another thing. Labs, radiology departments, and then therapeutic, physical therapy, radiology, therapeutic chemotherapy, etc. Clinical areas, that is one important area that we have to be really careful about when we are working with the MEP detailing and structures. OT related, that is LDR, the locations of the OT, the locations of the LDR, the LDR. If you take LDR, for instance, OT, for instance, there is a lot of other support things that we have to take in. All the sterile corridor, non-sterile to semi-sterile to sterile corridors. And then we have to look into pre-OTs, OTs, post-OT care, and then even for LDR. LDR also is the same story. Are we going to keep it in the sterile zone? or are we going to keep it right beside the sterile zone? So if that is the case, are we going to provide a common waiting area for LDR parents and the OT people? So these are the things we have to look for when we are doing the planning. Even for LDR, if you elaborate, we need to have pre-LDR, LDR, and the post-LDR sort of a thing. Okay. And there is a million to elaborate, but I'm not going to go in detail. Again, IVF, if you look into IVF, embryology lab, and the transfer areas. Now, one other thing when we are designing, especially mother and child hospital, and when we are combining IVF and mother and child together, a lot of time we have come into a lot of conflicts. The reason is IVF patients, I don't want them to discuss what is going to happen to them while they're waiting around with the mother and with the pregnant women. A lot of women might have got pregnant normally, or a lot of them have gone through IVF and got pregnant. So we have found, and the doctors are telling in the past, that a lot of patients, they discuss each other. How did you come across with, what happened, how much money that you have spent? So in order to avoid that, we totally split the departments. I don't want these people to see together. I don't want them to sit together in any place. So we segregate them, split them together, and planning part of it, we have to look into all these nitty-gritty stuff when we are putting it all this together. ICUs, NICU, PICU, MICU, and HTU, CCU, all those things. NICU is another area. It's a very sensitive area that we have to look into. A lot of patients, a lot of mothers want to feed the baby at one point. A lot of mothers want to be there at the same time. So we provide a separate area for them for NICU and PICU patients. A lot of time the kids don't want to stay alone. So we provide some space for the mothers or the parents to be with them or together with them. So also, again, you have to look into infection control zones. These are all infection control zones. Okay. Another thing is CSST, Central Sterile Unit. A lot of hospitals nowadays are outsourcing the CSST. Minimally, they are using with what you call a sterilizer or an autoclave, right? And but the major hospitals, even the big hospitals that we are working with them, they are all outsourcing the CSST part of it. They do the equipment wash and stuff, and they send it out. It works out much cheaper for them. That's what I was told. Okay. Now, patient areas that we categorize them, patient areas we are calculating patient single rooms, double rooms, wards, or maybe a suite room, right? Depends on the locations, depends on the type of the hospital. We are looking into categorizing this in terms of the category of the hospital that we are designing. If it is a high-end, you probably want to go in for more suite rooms or single rooms only, whereas double rooms very minimal, right? And nurses station and lounge in relation to that. IP services that we call it, IP pharmacy, pantry, IP waiting, all those things. General areas, a lot of general areas are missed out in the beginning, right? Like kitchen. Are we going to have a kitchen in there? Are we going to outsource the kitchen? Are we going to have only food serving in there? Are we going to have a cafe? Are we going to have a boutique, right? Are we going to do value-added services like photo studios and conference rooms for pre and postnatal classes, or any other classes, women's wellness center? All those things, these are all value-added services, and these are generic areas that we have to consider and have to think of while we do the plan. Again, we are getting into the serious aspects of the hospital design. These are all complex institutions with high traffic. There are a lot of norms to follow, NABH, JCI, or NABL, designed to be as per NBC fire codes, AERB, etc. in terms of if we are having an MRI or CT. Each department will have different requirements. So the part of it is, you study each and every area. What do you need for an IVF? What do you need IVF lab? What do you need for andrology department? So all those things have different requirements. You plan, you calculate the spacing accordingly, and you place it adjacently so that these doctors don't have to walk back and forth. So it is being taken care of. Okay. At this point, we think of green building or not, demographic that we are catering to, rooms, look and feel of the area, materials that are used, and designs for the future. When we are planning the designs will have to adapt onto the future. So in other words, we don't want to run out of the hospital. We don't want to make the design looking old in a year or two. So it'll have to run for good future. And patient-centric design for patients, and they may need assistance for moving around, like wheelchair or on a bed or on a crutches or whatever. The hospital should also be designed keeping doctors and nurses in mind, as well as it will increase the productivity. See, I have seen in hospital nurses walking 2 kilometers a day, 4 kilometers a day, doctors walking from this end to that end for a purpose. So what we do is we really have to do the vertical connectivity and the horizontal connectivity to the minimal, so that doctors, if they are called in for an emergency, they are vertically connected. If that is the case, to ICUs, CCUs, or any other OTs or whatever, have dedicated lifts, elevators, or dedicated nurses stations, certain areas. So the movement will be much more quicker and faster. Disaster management is in a hospital is unlike other conventional buildings, as patients will require assistance. It is in hospitals, it's a totally different approach. So normally for all these aspects, when we take together, we key in for the patient safety. Major thing when we look for in a design part of it is mechanical, electrical, plumbing, MEP services. We call it services. Services in terms that a hospital cannot run without these services. AC, HVAC, electrical, panels, backup, generator, plumbing, vertical and horizontal plumbing lines rather than crisscrossing lines here and there, fire lines which are going back and forth, and it will have to be a parallel perpendicular design, which we have to adapt while we are doing the design to acquire maximum ceiling heights, to acquire maximum interventions with the MEP services, and especially for the sterile area, you really have to look for all these things, put it all together ahead of time, so that it is maintenance, minimal maintenance and less maintenance, and maintenance people don't even have to walk into that area. So we focus it in such a way that all the service areas, all the plumbing, valves, and all those things are not in the patient areas or not in the actual happening areas. We try to place it in a central core so that these maintenance people don't have to walk in at any time. We are not allowing those people to walk into any of the sterile areas or semi-sterile areas. All these can be controlled outside of that areas. So these things will have to know as you plan. Otherwise, if you do it at a later stage, this is not going to work out. Especially if you are taking an MEP consultant from outside, and if he is not experienced in a hospital scenario, these are all going to become a big headache and a havoc, right? And hospital will have semi and fully sterile areas. Hospital building through complex would be designed so that maintenance can be done with ease. In other words, to explain that a little bit, nowadays all these equipments are technically high-end, right? These needs less maintenance. These are all well designed in such a way that it is all under numerical control, all that is technically oriented and can be controlled with one switch or one what you call reconditioning or resetting the whole things. So I have seen quite a number of hospitals, especially in brownfield and the renovation projects that we are working. The maintenance people have been working there for ages, 20 years, 30 years. And these people, when we come up with a new set of machineries or panels that needs no maintenance, these people will come and make it complicated, right? So people also will have to be, the maintenance people also will have to be educated, or will have to, if I tell it, replace them all, it will be cruel, but still, that is a fact. It is we are finding it a lot of difficulty with all these new technologies and machines taking up the old machines, right? And room for expansions while designing, and the value-added services, and Vastu. Another thing is Vastu if it is necessary, and keeping design budget in mind. I wanted to take in the spatial aspects of all these things at this particular point. Say, for instance, we are coming up or finalizing a, say, for instance, brownfield project for 45,000 square feet, right? 45,000 square feet, when we are finalizing a property, we are forgetting, we are doing the calculations. How many beds we can get it at 45,000 square feet? 30 beds, 40 beds, right? But we are forgetting the fact that we need to have movement space, which is taking up 25 to 30% of the area. Another 20%, 25% is taken up by the MEP services, right? We have to place panels, we have to place the transformer yards, we have to place the pump set, we have to place the gas banks, we have to place the HVAC machines, we have to place the chillers if that is required, we have to place gensets if that is required. All that, you cannot just place it one on top of the other. They all need certain standards. The suppliers of these new machines, they demand certain spacing between these machines. All that is being forgotten while we are taking an existing building and planning those things with the interior part of it, right? And another major thing that we always forget is the support staff walk-ins. How do they walk in? Where do they change? Where is their lunchroom? Where do they relax? Where is MRD? Where is the goods receiving area? Where is the security? All those things we are forgetting, and then we keep on. We have a tendency to keep adding on and on and on as we go through the design, right? So all these things we have to think of. These are all hidden things which are giving, as architects, a lot of problems towards the end. And what happens is, say for instance, we have a building with 4 floors, okay? Okay, the last minute they'll say, okay, all the admin areas goes on top, or all the admin areas goes in the basement. You are forgetting the fact that when things are put in the basement, we are reducing the number of car parking. When we take it up, we are forgetting the fact that for top is an open terrace, we have to do roofing. Part of it is, if it is covered, what happens is, if it is covered, okay, there's a water tank on top of that, it is half slab, let us do the rest of the slabs. It adds up to the building. I'll come to that detailing in a little bit. Another thing that we have to focus is the patient safety. Patient safety, how do we acquire? Using materials to produce patient harm, such as falls and infections. Following AERB protocols for radiation and safety. Suppose radiation or anything happening, the wall thickness will have to be 9 inches or 12 inches in terms of radiation safety. Strictly fire norms to ensure safety in case of fire. Proper illumination using natural daylight. We need to illuminate all the places very well. And to my knowledge, I love to bring in a lot of natural daylight into the interior. So that also is a healing, I call it a healing environment. Everybody sort of feels happy when they're looking at daylight and the daylight during the day, and they know the day and the night, right? And proper ventilation and filtration systems to prevent spread of infection. How many times we have installed AC, HVAC machines, ducts, and how many times we have cleaned it? That is a question that I would ask to everybody. Never. It is never. Inside the ducts, it is never cleaned. So we have to buy ongoing, that we have to keep it on a filtration system. We have to keep it cleaned. There is nowadays, there are new, what you call robot-oriented cleaning, that you can do that, so that the air quality is proper. Maintaining water quality by the use of RO water and WTP. We are always forgetting there is an RO water. We need a lot of RO water, the RO plant location, RO tank location, separate tank is required for RO. And where do we keep the tank? Where do we take the rotated water? What do we do with the water that is coming out of RO? How do we utilize that? So that is a rotation of use of water after cleaning up. So we probably have to plan it in such a way that we use that water for toilets flushing, or we use that water for plants, water, that sort of thing. WTP, that's another thing. Where do we keep the tank? So especially when someone is finalizing a building, what is the tank capacity? What is the tank capacity that we require for a fire safety? What is the regular water, the corporation water tank capacity? How much of a water that we need per day? You know, and what is the size of the tank that's available? Are we able to take another tank in there? Those are the things. In the past that we have faced problems, like we needed an extra tank. We have been digging the site. It was sort of caving in. So, you know, also the use of water capacity and the tanks that we need up on the roof. Is that able to take the weight of the tank, the weight of the water, structural stability? These are all things that we have to think of it while we do the planning. Hospital will have security system not to allow unwanted people and to monitor patients. In the past, we have come across patients walking out of the hospital. Nobody knew, right? A lot of people have been walking out of the hospital without telling anybody. Thefts, machinery has been stolen. Things have been, another things from the hospital has been stolen. Unwanted arguments with the public and the staff, arguments with at the building area certain times. All of these, we need a security systems appropriately in place and monitor patients. Adequate backup for MVP systems, equipments, and gases. All of these will have to be 24 hours and uninterrupted backing up is required, right? So that's one thing that you have to look for. Installation of systems such as CCTV and nurse call systems for effective patient control and monitoring the entire premises, right? So as you say, I would call these are the MVP is the most important area that you have to really think of without sacrificing your budget. Secondary, to my approach, MEP comes in first, then comes in the design. If all these things are in place, effective patient control, and in terms of uninterrupted running of the hospital, that gives a happy patient in there. Now we are looking at the types of the building. Okay, greenfield building, I call it a greenfield building is a dream to us. It's when there is a greenfield building, when someone comes up with a greenfield building, it's for me, it is a dream come true. The reason is it is a blank air space where you are dreaming on, where you are bringing in your dream to put it into reality. So you can do whatever that you want with that particular air. I call it an air, and you're building a castle in that air, and we are making it a reality. So green building is building from the scratch. Brownfield is something which is already there. A building is already there, and then we are developing it and redeveloping it for the purpose of the hospital, right? And there is a lot of drawbacks and there is a lot of advantages. I'll come to that point by point. And or refurbishment of the running hospital. That's the third categorization I would call it. That comes under brownfield. But these are the three things. One, greenfield building from the scratch. Two, an existing building which we are converting to a hospital. Three, there is an existing hospital which we are adding on, making it new, and with interruptions of the activities or without interruptions of the running hospital. This is a major challenge for them. Feasibility assessment of a greenfield project, as I mentioned, we initially have to go for a market feasibility and analysis and a conceptual study done to analyze the possibilities of the benefits of the potential uses of the project. Conceptual study means, once a doctor approaches to us saying that, okay, I have a land, 1 acre land, I want to build up a hospital. What sort of hospital are we going in for? Is it one particular purpose? Are we adding on more? Are you doing it phase-wise? Another thing that we really all have to know that we have a certain budget in hand, we are coming up with a certain budget, certain times we go into financing. If without all that, some doctors are coming up with phase-wise, you want to add on. Yeah, the design will follow that. Right? Just project from the scratch. Whatever they want to make your dream come true. And we can get the optimized spatial planning and design. You can do whatever that you want, all that what your dreams, what you are dreaming. We can all put together and make it happen. And building can be designed for concurrent requirements and future needs with ease. Easily we can achieve it. Easier to comply with NABH and JCI norms. While we are doing the planning, you know that these are the aisle patterns, these are the width of the aisles, these are the size of the rooms. We can put it together and take it up initially while we do the planning. And again, it boosts the economy and the real estate value. If you're planning a hospital in a certain area, the next thing that people will talk about that hospital. What is the property right beside it? Definitely the value of it is going to go up, right? And it boosts the real estate value of that particular neighborhood. For more opportunity to design a community-focused project. Community-focused, you say, for instance, you are designing a hospital for mother and child, right? Community-focused, who are we going to cater? Mother and child, we are going to take it childbearing age. Say, for instance, 16 to 49. So that sort of, where do they live? Is it youngsters who newly got married? Those who are planning in the childbearing age? So that sort of area that we are focusing on the mother. I'm just talking about the mother and child, for example.
I think we lost Susee. Yeah. Meanwhile, we'll connect her. Yeah, I think Kotreshi sir has got his mentor. Sir, Kotreshi sir.
Yeah. Hello, Prashant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On today, I'm very happy that my teacher, Dr. P.K. Raju, he is that Dubai as a president, IAP Neonatologist chapter. When he was in PVS Hospital, founded in South India, first institution of training center for neonatologist chapter, where I learned from his all the things. Whatever I am there today is because of him. I welcome P.K. Raju on this event. Kindly say a few words, sir. Raju, hello.
Kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is it loud and clear?
Yeah.
It's clear?
Yes. Go ahead.
Anyway, good afternoon to all of you. When Dr. Kotreshi told me, not only for the sake of being his teacher, but hospital industry really challenged me, because almost 30 years back, the first corporate hospital of Kerala was done by me. Nobody knew that expertise what that our previous prestigious speaker spoke. Nobody knew anything about hospital industry 30 years back. So I was supposed to start the first corporate hospital of Kerala. So just a few tips based on what the previous speaker of considerable experience spoke. First is that your financial outlay should be clear. It should be in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Don't burn your fingers in phase 1 and get defeated, because you have to conserve your finances in such a way that it's staggered over a period of 5 to 7 years. Number 2, when you do well in the first year, the banks will look at you favorably. And you can even go for public issue in a ratio of 65-35, that you have a lot of public investment and you still retain control over the hospital. Number 3, which is very extremely important, is always plan for the future expansion by providing 25%, 30% more space or provisional space for next 10 years. So these are the fundamental operating principles in it. I won this game of the first corporate hospital of Kerala. In fact, my NICU was the biggest in India for almost 20 years. When I came and took over this hospital, which was closed down hotel, it was a closed down hotel of around 80 beds in 1992. So I do not know where to keep my NICU. So a building was given to me. So the only thing which I saw was a 3,000 square foot of conference room, which I converted to be the biggest NICU of India from 1992. 3,000 square foot of NICU in 1992 was unheard of in India. And we had 25 bedded NICU, which did well and became a flagship. Later, in phase 2, I went and expanded into support departments, and eventually this hospital became 250 beds. So the story is not so simple like I tell you, or because the evolution is really hard. But now the esteemed speaker before me spoke extremely well. But always keep an eye on your finances, keep an eye on the project in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because money is not going to come back so easily once you burn your fingers. So start with the basic thing and get your patient flow going. Go for a second phase over 3 to 5 years. And after 5 years, when you're sure that you're done extremely well, then you have a limited public issue and you get all the money to expand to the dream which you wanted. So just to come to the hospital and hotel industry are almost same. So if you have a closed down hotel which is going to be given to you at a throwaway price, please take it, because generally 70% the spacing of the rooms in the hotel and hospital industry are almost same. Only critical areas like ICU, the NICU, then the operation theatre, etc. They need special care, which has, like the previous speaker told, they are special areas which are to be sterile. And lastly, don't forget, in the hospital which I created, the canteen facility has to be superb, because I think pharmacy and canteen, they give you 30% of the revenue. So when you plan a hospital of reasonable nature, never be defeated by your cafeteria or your pharmacy. They have to be in really good shape because a lot of revenue comes in. They have to be aesthetically maintained and hygiene maintained, sterility maintained. So once you do all these things, my concluding remark is, if you maintain quality of the services, patients are bound to come. So when I made this hospital, I made sure every product taken was of some ISO rating. The right from the IV fluids to the kitchen equipment which I bought. Everybody asked me, doctor, why you are spending 8 lakhs in 1992 for a kitchen? That will be equal to almost 1 crore now. What I spent on a kitchen, but that kitchen was built on a 3-star basis, and it was first time in Kerala we had a corporate kitchen where it was gas burners and gas piping, and it turned out to be a highlight area of the hospital. So every area, if you maintain quality within your reserve, go in a structured way over 2 to 3 years, you surely win the game. So with this, I thank you, Kotresha, for bringing me in, and at least my struggle in 1992 need not be replicated now. Everything is given to you in a silver platter. And thank you very much for, I'll be still around for some more time, but I really enjoyed the review by this eminent speaker. Thank you so much, Patricia. All the best to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nice of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Susee will be joining in a couple of minutes. She had some technical issue.
Okay, you want me to continue? Okay. So the second thing we have to be, if you want a small scale sector to succeed, the second thing you have to focus on is the daycare surgery, endoscopy, ENT surgery, and daycare surgery. Will bring you a lot of money because it will support you very well in NICU or maternity. The support services by ENT and the cost effectiveness of ENT is huge. Similarly, when I was pressed for space after 9 years, the only way I could expand was to bring a first class dental department in. So my medical record room became a dental department, which again I spent approximately 3,000 square foot on dental, and it became highlight of Cochin city. That everybody who liked the aesthetic way the dental department was done. So all of you who are planning this in a structured way, start with your maternity services, IVF, everything. Take in daycare surgeries like laparoscopic work and ENT, which also has got what do you call it? They have endoscopies not going, and don't forget a good dental department because I'm sure it's cost effective. So I think in the private sector this is the way to go. Later only, please burn your fingers with cardiac department and all those things. That will be costly. Any other questions to me from the horse's mouth?
No, Rajiv, it is very good, but you are emphasizing much on the canteen. It is very good because many people wants to ask the question to you, Rajiv. You are willing to spend those times 8 lakhs for the canteen.
Yeah.
Suppose.
1992.
Yeah. Rajiv, I think so. You know me. You recognize my face.
Yeah, somewhat.
In
Yeah. Yes.
1990, I think so. 2001. You are there in the Cochin. I am Dr. Dinakara from
Yes.
Kottayam. Do you remember me?
Yeah. You put on more weight now. Look more prosperous.
Yes. Do you? Okay. Rajiv. Yeah, Susee,
Okay,
1 minute. We are all waiting for you.
I'm so
1
sorry
minute, please,
about that.
please.
I'm
No
so
problem.
sorry. I don't know how it got onto that.
No problem.
Just
We will wait for you.
time.
We'll wait for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it really important the canteen area? Because two things directly I'm asking, because there are 70, 80 people who are sitting now here. And in the Facebook, they're watching now. Really, what I am telling you is canteen is very much essential for 50 to 70 bedded hospital. Even though some, see, if it's like a Cloud9 or a motherhood, they are catering a cream people. Okay, canteen is very essential. Suppose if the hotel is next to the building, do you think still you want to keep a canteen? Number one question. If you are opening a hospital where, sorry to use this word, I am not abusing any community here. If some community people, one person will come, 10 people will come of theirs. You know that, Rajiv. So in that time, do you think it is wise to open a canteen
Dinakar,
in the hospital?
Yeah. See,
I would.
Specialty hospital like 300, 400 beds, then it's cost effective and revenue generating. But if you have a 40, 50 bedded hospital, canteen will not make a huge profit and running headaches are huge. Retaining a good chef is very difficult. Maintaining quality is very difficult. So if you have a hotel next door who can supply, and nowadays you can actually even contract with the 5-star hotels who will provide the food which can be defrosted or heated with the freshness maintained. So there are other ways of running the canteen. I don't think you need to have a canteen in a small hospital 45 bedded, but providing food is essential. That is essential.
That depends on the categorization of the hospital. If we are having a 7-star hospital, I don't want anybody going to the next premises.
Correct.
I rather keep all those people in the hospital itself. Give them a nice ambience, nice place where they can sit there, spend a bit more time rather than waiting in the waiting area. Take them into that area, let them all sit there. We have done it in the past that a lot of people utilize the cafeteria for waiting. Okay, so they go sit in there, they chat, they have a coffee, a cake, a muffin, or whatever it is. It is like waiting around, especially waiting areas that you provide for ICUs and LDRs. You don't want to keep them all stressed up, tensed up in that particular area. Let them go out to the restaurant, let them go to the cafeteria, give them a nice 5-star facility in there, let them sit there, give them a nice ambience. They will stay. I rather have them not getting out of the premises, going to the next door.
I think you hit the nail on the coffin, Susee. Now you know that we have 22 Cloud9s across the country, and running 22 canteens, I can tell you from my experience, the point which you made is very clear. I think it can be used as a waiting area, supplemental area. Your clientele will determine whether you need canteen or not, but it's not a profit-making area. That I have to be very clear. For a small hospital of 40, 50 bedded hospital, It is not going to be a profit-making area. Headaches are more than necessary. But if you are running a 5-star or 7-star facility, then canteen is a must because people will expect, but it will add it to your headache. That I can tell you.
Yeah.
But it is an
again, if you can get a franchisee for that matter, you can very well take it up and run it in that area. We are not, see, you're making money out of other healthcare activities, medical activities. Why are you expecting that income as an income for the hospital?
Yeah, Dr. Rajiv, if it is possible, please stay for a few more minutes. Actually, after Susee's talk, Dr. Kishore will have 10 minutes. He wants to add it. After that, I'll take only 10-15 minutes. We will have a very good discussion. Okay, please. Rajiv, in case if it is possible, please try to stay. We are requesting you, dear. Please.
I have 2-3 more pages to go, which is the most important thing. Can I?
Yes, it's for you.
Yeah.
No, let the host start. Let the host start.
Yeah. So see, it's for you now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm just coming on to it.
Prashant.
Okay. So.
Yes.
By the way, the people who have seen Cloud9 World Airport Road, that is the photo of the World Airport Cloud9, and that is Susie's baby.
Prashant.
Yes, sir.
Oh my
yes,
God.
sir. Yes.
Can you all hear me now?
Please, can you invite Mr. Ganesh also, please? In case if it is there, call him, let him wait. In case if he is there, Ganesh, are you there? Okay, call Prashant. Let him also be there in the panel, please.
Okay.
Okay, Susee, over to you.
Please continue.
So now I was sorry to interrupt at that particular point, and now I'm talking about the feasibility assessment of the brownfield project. Brownfield project, let me take you through. A lot of doctors are looking into taking brownfield projects into reality. Now, when you look at the brownfield projects, you know you are shortlisting what you're going to do. You're shortlisting your city, you're shortlisting your building, right? When you're shortlisting a building, you know the feasibility analysis. You probably have a department doing all your feasibility analysis, what you want, how do you want to run it, what sort of format that you want to run it. You're finalizing a certain premises, right? That certain premises, when you're looking for the assessments that we have to look for is number one, availability and user affordability. Number one, traffic patterns and accessibility and afford of privacy and parking of that particular building. Major thing that we always stress out and always forget is the structural stability of the building and restructuring affordability of that particular building. The structural stability, let me explain it a little bit. As doctors, you decided you want to have a hospital, 30-bed hospital, 40-bed hospital, whatever, that depends on the size of the building. So we are taking it up. You're forgetting the factor. There is a lot of hidden factors like staff entrance, staff exit, goods receiving area, parking areas, and then admin areas, conference rooms. A lot of times doctors add up a lot of things. They'll say, I want to bring in students. I want to add a classroom. I want to have a nursing facility. I want to have a nurses college. All these things are added at a later stage. The end result of that, if you have 4 floors, you are adding up another 2 more floors, right? And at that particular point, do we have the structural stability to do that? So if we normally do a test with a structural consultant to see that it is viable and it is possible, because you cannot add on to a column to an existing column, right? And change of licenses. Let me emphasize that change of licenses and use of the new usage for that particular building. In the past, we have come across with difficulties. A lot of doctors have taken up hotels, running hotels, to take it up as hospitals. The reason is, can you all hear me?
We can, Susee, go ahead.
The reason is, they think, why is it? These are all rooms. These can be used as patient rooms. Rest of the things we can convert it into clinical usages and technical usages on all those things. But you're forgetting, when it is applied for a city, for a hotel license, and then we are using the change of the hospital, change of the hotel to a hospital, it is very difficult. Certain times we cannot acquire that, because one of the major clients, major hospital clients,
We had gone through that. We started the construction, thought we can get it done, but it never did happen. The work is halfway through, right? And assessment and additional requirement of services. See, when you take up a property, you can always dictate the terms with the landlords, right? You want to have X amount of electrical power. You have to add on to that. Plumbing services, do you want to do it or not? A lot of toilets, you probably be able to make them do it. A lot of tiling and finishes, you probably be able to do it. A lot of times we can, depends on the negotiations with the landlord, you even get the windows replaced, or the windows removed and replaced to suit our needs, right? So all these terms you can dictate with the landlords when you are finalizing a property, and also the rent-free period, right? The rent-free period, when you are signing up an agreement, you suppose you are taking a 45,000 square feet, you need 6 months to complete the project. You probably be able to negotiate with the landlord in such a way, because you are paying them up ahead in advance of lump sum. You're probably able to get away with rent-free period. So you probably want to try to finish up that particular project within that particular time period that you're getting it for free, right? And there may be scalability, expansion issues related to using already constructed facilities. Another thing that we have to look for while we are doing this, adding upon to the existing structures, major thing, we are revamping the building from a IT park to a hospital, or a restaurant, or a hotel to a hospital, or a commercial complex to a hospital. We probably want to acquire the look and feel, or our brand image and our brand look into that building. So as a result of that, we are looking into bringing in new elevations to the building. How do we support them? What would the existing building will take that particular support? All these things we have to take it up, think of it ahead of time. Now the advantages of a brownfield building, much quicker turnaround time, right? Cost of the project is less compared to a greenfield project. No need to get approvals for demolition or construction. Mind you, one other major fact that I want to bring it in here is a demolition. When you are calculating the total cost of the building, always you are forgetting demolition is a factor, takes up money, takes up a budget. So we really have to add on that also to the budgetary cost of, suppose if we are calculating 3,000 rupees for square foot rate, demolition cost is another extra that we are always forgetting it. As a result of that, at the end of it, the project cost is going high, so that we have to think of it. And the building is already constructed, so you can start interiors immediately. So now here in a brownfield project, while the demolition is going on, while the new restructuring is going on, new interiors are going on simultaneously, you can work up a lot of things simultaneously together. In terms, all the furniture can be decided, take up all movable furniture, all the doors and windows can be ordered separately, simultaneously. It can be built and brought it in, and it will be like a jigsaw puzzle. We'll put it all together at the end of it, and together while you are working on flooring, walls, and ceiling. Nowadays, I am coming up with to a concept that while we are working on a brownfield project, we want to make sure that we are working only floors, walls, and ceiling, and the MEP, right? And the rest of the things are not at the site. All these things will happen somewhere outside the site and will be brought it in at the end of it, like the jigsaw puzzle, we put it together. Like especially all the MEP services, medical gas services, all the firefighting lines, all that can go while the demolition is going on. So we are saving a lot of time, right? And the possibility of, as I mentioned, few months rent-free for interior fit-outs. The disadvantages of the brownfield building, I call it demolition, is one headache. It is more. That is existing walls, electrical, plumbing, all that will have to be altered, adjusted, and will have to be suited to the new design. Building may not be structurally sound to house a hospital. Certain times, that is the most challenging part as far as an architect is concerned. I'm telling you, certain times the clients are very particular on that particular building. But is it possible to take it up as a hospital? Maybe a big challenge, but still, you really have to. In fact, we are working on one building where we have columns in the middle of the building. No matter what I do, the aisles cannot take up in any other way because we are losing up a lot of space, right? So when you are finalizing a place, make sure the location of the lifts, the entrance of the building, the parking, the walking distance from parking to the entrance of the building, okay? And to comply with the fire norms and the norms, are we going to provide a ramp in there? A ramp is nowadays, everybody is asking for a ramp. A ramp is a must. We're looking at the setback of the building. It may not be there, but the ramp is a must now. So do we have spaces for all those things that we have to look of it ahead of time? Okay. And that is the reason it is a challenge for an architect to work on an existing building. Some of the clients are coming up with. We cannot say no to it, but we have to work along with it to make it creatively and make it effectively, to work it like a hospital. The ceiling heights have to be checked. One major request to all of you from my point of view is that please check the ceiling heights. The ceiling heights, you might see it as 10 feet, but there could be beams and cross beams will be running across, whereas it is a disaster. The reason is we have to take up all our lines, plumbing lines, firefighting lines, HVAC lines, all of them will have to go under the beam. So it makes the ceiling heights very low, especially when you're planning ICUs. It is a disaster. We are getting what normal height of the ICU, we are looking at 10 feet. We are looking at a 12 feet ceiling height for minimum for an OT, right? When we order the pendant comes in, the pendant doesn't fit in. Once you install the pendant, the ceiling height is going to be the bottom of the height of the pendant going to be 6.5 feet. Is that what you want? How do we move around the pendant? So end result of that is they ask you to cut the pendant, cut the stem of the pendant. What do you do when you cut the stem of the pendant? You're getting a 2-inch, 4-inch stem on a pendant. It is something that is horrible to look at. And the use of it. So to avoid all those things, ceiling heights, if you're finalizing a building, if that building is in use, make sure you open up some of the ceilings and see the beams and cross beams where it is running, flat slabs, coffer ceilings. You check all those things before you finalize a building. Okay, otherwise you can end up unexpected surprises in the building. There could be beams running, there could be plumbing shafts running. You probably have to fill in all the plumbing shafts. For instance, we are working on a building right now, tons of plumbing shafts. We have to take out all the plumbing shafts and we have to cover it up. We have to slab all this, put into level with the flooring. It is a disaster. How do you do that, right? And fire NOC, make sure you get the fire NOC available. And it is not, may not be available, and it is difficult to and expensive to achieve, right? You probably have to do something else to get the fire license. If possible, we can put it all on the landlord side. We probably have to do it so that we can sign up the building, right? Availability of the building. Most existing buildings are not suitable for hospitals, but you really have to look at it. So in here, we are looking at some of the hospitals that we were working, the pictures, if you look at it, there are some columns, unwanted columns in certain areas. Working on elevations, we'll come up to that. Classifications of Indian cities, I call it tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 2, which are major cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, etc. The advantages of having in a tier 1 city is multi-speciality. There are multi-speciality hospitals with 5-star facilities and experienced doctors and medical staff. And advantage is better connectivity to other cities and towns, so people can come in from the class 2 cities to the class 1 cities to avail the facilities and the services that they have. And the tier 2, these are developing cities, we call it, like Mysore, Vellore, Coimbatore, Gurgaon, Noida, places like that. Even in class 2, tier 2 cities also, we have a bunch of excellent multi-speciality hospitals with high-end technology and experienced doctors. Beauty of that is the cost is lower. The hotels are cheaper, the hospital expenses are cheaper, so it is much more affordable. Now, another thing is a running hospital. Is it a running hospital? Are we going in for renovation? Are we going to close the hospital for renovation? Why do you renovate a hospital, right? The reason to renovate a hospital is to compete with the new upcoming healthcare facilities. There could be a number of facilities that are coming in and around that particular hospital. We want to compete with them, number one. Number two, outdated interiors. Look and feel if it is outdated. In the pictures that we are showing it on the right-hand side, we are working on it right now. The interiors are right on top of it. We have an existing waiting area. We are proposing a new waiting area like in the bottom. The bottom part of it, we have an existing elevation which is there like that. We are proposing this particular elevation. So these are the new, it will look like brand new by the end of it, right? The reason is hospital expansion, adding more beds. See, most of the time when they are going in for renovations, they probably want to add more beds and more consultation rooms, more services that they want to offer, right? And probably they are rebranding the hospital and rectification for any operational issues that are facing, and modifying the building to accommodate JCI and NABH. Okay, and moreover, there is wear and tear of the general wear and tear of the building, and to add life to the building, all defunct MEP, plumbing lines, electrical lines, etc., will have to be revamped, right? So that the efficiency is more. Issues that we face in a renovation project: space constraint, lack of flexibility in design, dust and noise pollution, patient and attender complaints all the time, shutdown times for areas being renovated, may need to reduce the patient intake, which the hospital authorities will have to cooperate. Structural integrity of the building may be unknown, because we never know when the building is built 75 years ago, 90 years ago. We are doing the restructuring. They don't want to rebuild it. We have to work along with it. No clarity on existing structure of MEP services. Nobody knows what is the machine there. Where is the lines going? Which are the panels? Especially the running hospital, there may be maintenance staff. Nobody knows what it is, where it goes, where it is connected, right? In case of running hospital, timelines may be affected in case of its stop due to complaints, procedures, etc. See, we calculate time frames from the beginning, from the ground break on to turnkey. We have certain calculations for a project, right? We calculate, we have to try to achieve, we have to try to maintain and achieve that particular time frame. Otherwise, it is not going to work out. So in order to work out on an existing renovation project, what happens is, if the management certain times may not be able to cooperate due to the patient, complaint, or maybe some unexpected procedures that come in, maybe some unexpected surgeries are happening at that particular, or maybe some VVIPs are there. That is one of the major problems that we are facing in one of the projects that we are working. VVIPs are coming in there. Always there is TV and media. People are all standing there. So it is the work is totally stopping at that point. So all the work that are stopped, maybe 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 2 weeks, it is adding upon towards the completion date, right? And budget may vary 10 to 15%. It could go extra because of unforeseen circumstances and surprises, right? Shut down existing services of a running hospital, not possible. What happens is shutting down services is not at all possible when patients are in the hospital. So what we are doing is we are simultaneously taking up the new services, and then we are keeping the existing services. The end result of it, the space that we are planning to take up, it's totally screwed up and utilized, right? Certain items may be long lead subject timelines and need to be planned accordingly. Not sure what surprises lie ahead in the building. And that's very briefly that I had gone through on brownfield and greenfield building. If you're talking about it, there is millions of things from our experience that we have come across with. And there's a lot of things. If you talk it, it's on and forever. And I'm going to stop it at this particular point. I hope I've very briefly covered on all these things, which we can expand millions of points more. And thank you so much for listening to me. I'm sorry about that interruption in between. And if you have any more questions, please take it. I'm happy to take it forward, and thank you. Or you can mail me if you need. I'm always available. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Susee. Questions will take up after the one more session. So meanwhile, Dinakar sir.
Dr. Prashant?
Yes, sir.
In this flow only, if you don't mind, in this flow only, if Dr. Kishore wants to add a few words about the architecture and this thing, Dr. Kishore is available here?
Yes, sir.
Kishore, sir?
Yes, sir, Dinakar.
Sir, please, sir. Sir, you want to add some more things because Dr. Rajiv is also there. Otherwise, can you wait for 10 minutes? Within 10 minutes, my talk will be finished. Only I'll take 10 minutes. Is it
I'm
okay?
sorry, doctor,
because anyhow, no problem, madam. Please, please. It's good. Sir, Kishore, sir, you want to add in this flow only?
No, I think Susee has covered most of the things. For the audience who are listening, see, the equation is maybe Susee is the best person to calculate. We always calculate when we do construction or renovation in terms of 1,500 rupees per square feet to 6,000 rupees per square feet, depending upon what interiors you do and what is the locality and city. So maybe Susee can expand on that, because that gives you a rough estimation of what finances you need to make up. Because people will say finances, but it's a broad category, doesn't understand what it is. So the expenditure can range anywhere from 1,500 rupees per square feet to 6,000 rupees or even 10,000 rupees if you want to construct like Dinakar's house. So it all depends on how you want to construct. So generally the range is between 1,500 rupees to 6,000 rupees per square feet. So that details maybe Susee can expand, because that will give you an idea for the audience to plan their hospital in a way. What is included in 1,500? What is included in 6,000? Susee, maybe you can just expand briefly.
Maybe more, because we just have completed a hospital where they have imported all the furniture, interiors, walls, panels, all from Italy and Spain.
Yes.
Right? It's one of the hospitals. We did the project management for that hospital. And
Susee, I'll ask you one more question.
Yes.
Is there any hospital in your experience? I think so. You are very senior here, senior architect, what I feel. Because 1990, 80 something sir was telling, Kishore Kumar, you are the architect. So you look like a very knowledgeable senior person. Have you seen any hospital without wood?
Without wood?
Without any wood, without any wood.
You mean wood or walls? You talking about walls or
no, wood means reception table, or see, I can see PK Rajiv's room, I can see shelf behind.
Yes,
it's in
fact, we have just completed one hospital, one orthopedic hospital, because that doctor is facing a lot of termite problems. Okay, so what do we use? All right, we have used that, what is that panel called? WPC material. It's a composite material, and he wanted to use only that. Walls, furniture, doors, door frames, everything. So we have, we have worked without wood. And the 22, that the cost of it is 25 to 30% more, right? Yeah.
Now, why I ask you is,
there are drawbacks to it. Let me tell you, doctor, there is drawbacks to it. We nail it, we bolt it, right? It's like using an MDF board. MDF board, we bolt it. At one point it comes out. We have to find another area to bolt it. The same story applies in here. We have to bolt it. It's beautiful. It looks like wood. We can do Duco finishes. You can do any sort of finishes onto it. But the problem is, once you bolt it and once it comes out, how do you patch it, right? We have to take the hinges and put it somewhere else. So it is, yes, we have done without wood. Yes, the major problem was that hospital was facing termite problems, and the doctor doesn't want to use anything. He wanted to use either metallic frames, glasses, or any of these materials. How do you use glass and metal frames and you want to have a high-end look, right? You cannot use metal frames and metal doors to make that high-end look.
Yeah, I'll ask
So-
one more thing. One more thing for you, no problem,
Yeah.
because I'll go quickly. Later, people will ask you and Rajiv and the people. Rajiv, it is for you as well as Susee. First, Rajiv, is there hospital elevation and later Kishore will matter? Hospital elevation means architect elevation. Do you think it matters? First to Rajiv, next to Susee.
You have to have a floor plan of the existing building because there's a primary issue.
Elevation, outside elevation.
Yeah, and when
outside
you plan,
look and feel, I think.
yeah, once you plan the project between 50 beds and 100 beds, the expenditure is hardly 25%. Am I clear? So don't just bank on 40 beds and plan a building. When you're planning, plan for the floor plan to take at least 100 beds because in the long run, 40 beds is not cost effective. I've seen. When you take 40 bed, the limiting factor of your whole project is your bed strength and your outpatient procedures. So if you limit your bed to 40 beds, in the long run, you will be in a vicious circle. So unless you come somewhere near 70 to 100 beds, initially it look half empty. But then you can ask your colleagues to admit patients and do lot of daycare surgery to make up the deficit. And eventually your 100 beds will be full. Once you reach 100 beds, all the other things will fall to pattern. Your pharmacy will generate 30% more revenue. Even a canteen may do well with the 100 beds. So
Okay,
don't plan
Susee.
for 40 beds. My point
I
is
have,
at this point in time, don't plan for 40 beds.
Yes, sir.
Doctor,
Yes.
I have to take that point up in a different way, right?
Yeah. Elevation,
We are
outside
trying-
elevation.
Outside elevation matters a lot. The look and feel. If you're see, it is very simple. When you look at a person, is he beautiful? Is he handsome? That outer elevation of the building matters a lot. You don't want to look at an old building, old dilapidated building, look and create wonderful interiors. It doesn't work. You really have to have branding. You really have to have your image. The elevation is very, very important in here. Number one. Number two, I'm not contradicting on the point that you have emphasized that 40 beds to 100 beds. Now, here we are trying to create, say for instance, cradle format, Cloud9 format. What is that we are trying to achieve in here? How are we planning to go on to the other cities and create our image and look into that? We have to have a corporate look. We have to have an identity. We have to have a building. We have to have a business format to run. First, when you have 40 beds, you know what are the consequences and benefits that you are looking for. What are we going to achieve when we are multiplying that particular format into other cities? So these are the most important factors that we have to look. Now, if you are planning to have one facility or two facility, I agree. In a class 2 city or a class 1 city, if you are giving room for expansion, the cost factor may not be much of a difference, but 40 beds to 100 beds to a running cost is definitely more.
Yeah. So now, Dr. I think so. There are number one, Dr. Dhananjay Sarji is there. Dhananjay, are you there, sir? Dhananjay Sarji. Okay. Dr. Kutresh is there. Dhananjay, sir. Dhananjay, are you here?
Yeah, sir.
Please switch on. Yeah, dear. Dr. Dhananjay, very nice. Kutresh is there. Dr. Sidhu. Today's moderator, Dr. Sidhu.
Dinakara?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just have to complete the loop here. I think
Yes,
what Susee said is very, very relevant here.
Sir.
It depends on whom you are catering for, what is your aim, and then which place you are planning to do, what sort of clientele you are expecting. Those determine the bed strength. So you can't just make a blind statement saying 100 beds is essential. Now 100 beds are essential if you are planning to start DNB course and academic course, because without 100 beds you don't get permission for DNB course. But if you are catering to a single specialty hospital versus multi-specialty hospital, which is what Susee was alluding to, Cradle and Cloud9. For example, when we started the first Cloud9, our model was always 50 beds. But now the newer centers, we are cutting down to 25 to 30 beds maximum for maximizing the efficiency and generating the revenue. So normally our break-even point with the 50 beds was about 18 months. With 25 to 30 beds, our break-even point is 6 months. So it all depends on what is your finances, what is your corporate structure. Are you going to do hub and spoke model? Is it a hub? Is it a spoke? Is it the tier 2 city, tier 3 cities? Are you planning to have DNB or no DNB? All these factors have to be taken into account before you jump in and start swimming. If you just open 100 beds with no plans, then you will burn your fingers, which is what has happened 2 or 3 hospitals in Bangalore. Where a lot of hospitals have been successful, but I'm sure all of you know that at least 10 hospitals have burned their fingers in the last 7 years in Bangalore and closed down, converted from hospitals into hotels. So it's the other way around also has happened. So don't think that hospitals are always profitable. People have struggled, people have suffered and have sold for peanuts and have, not even got the money what they put in. So you have to calculate everything what is in your area and what is your plan, what is that you're trying to achieve. Back to you.
No, unlike any other business, we are trying to place a business model in here. In order to take a successful business model, we have to really calculate and plan what we are going to do, what we are going to achieve, how we are going to achieve, what are the business models and plans, what are the investments that we are looking at, where is the investments coming out, what is the returns back in, we cater to. All these points we have to take it. This is a business model that we are trying to achieve. Multiplication of the same branding. It's like any other retail. You are taking it. The only thing is our operations are different. But the brand entity, creating a brand is more important in here so that there are people. I know people coming from, there is a cradle in Kerala, Calicut. But I know people, those who are going from some other remote Cloud9 or Cradle to have their baby because it is a prestige issue. Why? Because it is a brand name. The way you're wearing a branded shirt
Susee,
or a Louis Vuitton
Susee,
or a Levi's. Yeah.
One small request. We have a big discussion 2 hours about the branding only. So we will be inviting you as a panelist for that too, and Rajiv also. And regarding the marketing only, we have a 2 hours talk. Okay. So if you just 2 minutes, if you are holding your breath for at least, sorry, don't hold the breath for 7 minutes. Please hang on with me for 7 minutes, please. I'll finish one talk because people are here. Sorry, they want to listen. Just 7 minutes. Prashant, can you people see my slides?
No, not yet, sir. Start sharing, sir.
Yeah, I shared already.
No, we cannot see.
We can't see. We can only see your pictures.
You go back, sir. Press that third icon.
Okay.
Open shade that video, audio, and the open shade tray.
Wait, dear. Okay, this one. Huh? Okay, share the slides. Yes. Ida. Ida. So can you now see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Put it in slideshow mode, sir. Yes, we can see.
I think so. People can see, right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Can you see?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, choose just to 7 minutes. I have to finish. Okay, people are there waiting. So now 6 o'clock, 42 minutes. Okay, I am Dr. Dinakara Prithviraj. So I started a new venture with my partners. So we have 7 partners with us. They're all doctors. Number 1. Number 2, we are planning to have around 10 to 12 branches in and around the Karnataka, later planning to expand. And that is the main motto. And my really inspiration person is Dr. Kishore, as well as from Andhra Pradesh, Dr. Noori is there. Noori Suryanarayana, people might be knowing him. So he is my inspiration person. So I should have started long back since my son was there in the college. So I didn't start it. Now he completed 2 medical things. That is the reason we started. And whatever I had the knowledge, I thought I should give to all the people before I only engulf. Nowadays, you know that there is some community people, whatever the knowledge they have, they don't want to give to other people. like in olden days too. So now we are giving the knowledge to all the people who ever logged in. I am very happy they are learning so slowly. So thanks for all the speakers who are respecting us and coming, and people who are staying with us. Okay, just fraudulence. It is difficult for us. What do you mean by fraudulence? Just let me tell you very quickly what is it. Don't what is it? Don't follow the whatever I am telling. There is how the in the hospital, you people are, all the seniors might have gone to this experience. So suppose patient got admitted. So with the patient, attender is also staying with them. Attender, either the father or with the baby, some uncle or father or mother. So what happens? They got admitted in the hospital, either midnight or day, afternoon, anytime. So one employee will be there. Employee means either nurse or somebody will be there in the hospital watching who is getting admitted which ward. Either with the help of the receptionist. So this I am admitting in this ward, this place, go, no problem. So she will be keenly watching the patient where they are getting admitted. Slowly they will go and they will talk what happened, what from where, which hospital you got admitted, whom you are taking care, who was the doctor you were treating, I mean, who was a doctor. So she will come, so and so place, my doctor was like that. Suddenly she will come to know who was the previous doctor. So she will try to act, in case if she knows the doctor, she will try to call, sir, your patient has arrived to this hospital since you are treating. Don't worry, sir, you will get your references, whatever the cuts back. If the facility is there in that hospital, if they are giving. I am not accusing any hospital here. So first of all, she got that information. Suddenly what happens? She will go and tell the marketing people too. It's all hand in glove. Marketing people in the hospital will be haunting, because otherwise that marketing head or admin will take an action, or owner will bump on that admin. What you are doing? So they will talk, okay, this case has come from us, or we have went to the doctor, so that doctor has referred the case. It's all a fake, everything fake to save their skin. So suddenly patient got admitted. So patient is now discharged. So if there is a rules in that hospital to give the cuts if the patient is referred from them, so that cuts will go to the marketing person's head. That head will go and give to that whoever the nurse is communicating. First, that nurse will take the cuts if she is the major holding all these things for fraud. Owner won't be knowing anything. Owner might be thinking my hospital is big. So he will be thinking that doctors are referring, patients are not coming to him. Usually owner will think, for my hospital patient should come, at least I should have a name. But here patients are coming, but they are showing, marketing people are showing. So because of us the case has come. Here the nurse will talk the doctor and she will give the cuts to them through the marketing. And in case if she will call the doctor, if anybody asks, you tell you referred the case. And in case if somebody comes to know that this is all happened, she will go to the patient and tell, please tell this doctor referred, this doctor, I mean our doctor will take care of your patient very good. So either way, either she will call the doctor, you will get the cuts, you call our hospital owner, I referred the case. Nurse will be telling to that some doctor, even the patient won't be telling the doctor they have come to our hospital. This is all things. Otherwise, she will only go to the patient and tell, you tell that doctor name, our doctor is very close, he will take care and he will give the discount. Said that all the cuts will be taken from all these three people. Once again, hospital owner will be just why once the patient is coming to your hospital. So that is your hospital money. So all these things are once again fraudulence. This is a scenario 2. Please see this. What all the cases, you people should know this. Okay, this whatever I am putting here, it is not my knowledge. I learned over almost since 1999. I learned all these things. And my uncle Veerap Reddy, I lost him because of for the COVID around 3 weeks back. And he sat in my house. He was really my inspiration. You should have done, you wasted your time. But he's the one told me to start do this, do that. But now he realized and he was telling me to this. So he also is really, he's also a contributor for my talk today. Okay, Dr. Veerap Reddy, I lost him. Just God bless his soul. Okay, once again, patients has come here. So at the time of discharge, all this drama will happen. So patient is as human tendency, greedy, don't want to pay the bill. So it is whatever I am telling, it's in India. I don't know foreign also it will occur or not, or it will happen or not. But either circumstances is making the father or mother to do this drama. So what they will do, they will go to the doctors. Doctor, we don't have money. Please give us discount. Doctor is busy in the OPD as well as the hospital headaches. So he give 5%. Please go. Father is very happy. Comes to the wife, means mother of the baby or any wife. Okay, I got a 5%. We will go and pay. He will go to the accountant. Accountant will see his face. Okay, 5%. Are you happy? That is the way he starts. Okay, you take your wife. No problem. Doctor might give. Accountant is the person. He is acting in between, very cunning. So accountant will teach the father or the relative, whoever the patient's relative. So he will take the any female wife, grandmother or anybody. Sir, this is very difficult. I want. Doctor is very busy at 4 o'clock. He wants to go at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock to home. Okay, he will sign for another 5% or 2%. He will go home. So they will go to the accountant. Thank you, accountant. You are very good because of you. Are you happy with this? You want more? Can you wait till 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock? I'll get it more, or 7 o'clock. Definitely anybody greedy. For 15% I'll give discount. Definitely in Kannada he will start telling Nammunnu nodkoli. Nammunnu nodkoli means please take care of me also, I'll get more discount. That's what he will put a bomb there. Anyhow, parents also wants the same thing. I don't mind, already your bill won't be there because already bill generated. You can stay till 7 o'clock. Father also will go for a work or something. Suddenly at 7 o'clock thing, accountant will come, sir, minister called me, or some Panther gang called me, or some community gang called me, and they asked me they don't have money. They will come at 8 o'clock. We will settle the bill. They don't have a bill. They're asking. Father, doctor doesn't want to take any headache. Okay, it's all headache. Don't worry. He gives 15%. Just discharge the patient. He doesn't want any headache. So he will come and talk with the attenders. See, because of me 15%. So he will give 15% discount. He will discharge the patient. So, but at the same time, father also will be giving the some 2,000, 3,000 or 5,000 according to this. So here, who is losing the money? Hospital. Because of, and he will be taking around 20,000 rupees per day. Accountant will take the money and go to the home. But 20,000 rupees per day into 30 days. If it is one patient, if it is multiple patients, how much hospital is losing? So dear people who wants to start the hospital, keep a camera, everything is voice recording. See that those people not even 10 minutes or 2 minutes voice recording should not be switched off. So you should have every time admin should have an eye. If admin is a dumb, admin shows off his attitude, just sack the admin. Never bother who is the admin. Because you are giving life to the admin. You are putting the admin in that post because of purely trust, and accountant too. See, there is a one thing, remember, suppose if Prithviraj Chauhan has not let Ghazni to come inside. He in the battle Ghazni lost. So he requested, please spare my life. He left, but at last he killed his family, his 2 kids, raped his wife in front of all the people. She did eyes. That's what I learned in the business. Be shrewd. Okay, if the chance, never ever, my dear friends, don't show even sympathy. Don't go anything, either to admin or to the accountant or whomever you trusted. If admin gives the life to you, and give your life, give a share in your hospital, some percentage. That is the things. Please, dear friends, whoever open, why I am talking is, you are selling your property, you are selling your wife's Mangal Sutra and bangles, you are putting the money to the hospital. You are dying. Not somebody wants to enjoy. It's not a government institution. Somebody should enjoy. It is your own hard money, dear friends. Okay, number one, please, dear friends, hospital lose like this one patient, how much? Why I am using this harsh words is, you whoever logged in, they are interested, they have put their money. It's not somebody's money. Okay, number one, here's once again how the hospital will be losing, why the partners will break in, why the fraudulence will occur, dear friends. Number one, partner will be there. So he appoints secretly one nurse into the OT, like leaving a snake in the OT. He will tell, please, what is happening in the OT, you should keep on telling. You don't worry, give one a smile to her, or have a whatever the private affair, personal, we are not bothered about them. But when it comes, she will start put some masala and tell that doctor has come, this doctor referred to this thing, this has happened, more got, and this doctor left some procedure he has done, don't bill, and she will put some masala put into his ears. So his ears will start. One person will be leading. Okay, leave it anyhow for the betterment. Hospital will tell, but other partner will putting the poison. And people are watching you, dear friends. Never smile at a nurse. Never have a personal affection to them. Working place is your temple. Okay, outside is different. In the working place, don't give a smile, unnecessary talk. If you'll talk, they will think something. Then once again, at the same time, partner one don't know, partner two will put, "Arey yaar, you two ICU mein raho." Puts one person in the ICU, what is happening, which doctor is giving a cross reference to which doctor, whether they are having links, whether he is asking something, whether other partner is coming and doing something. So this nurse will put some masala. This is all partnership. This is the reason the partnership break. Whatever it is there, every 15 days or every month, 28 before whatever the white and black you people will do in your hospital, that day, friend to friend you ask, never fight. And never trust anybody who is a third person. You are the one trusted your heart and come for the partnership and the appoints the housekeeping. Then I know some partners will go to the mean-minded thing, class 4 things, listening to them, and they are adjusting the things, and even nurses OPD. I have seen neighboring to my house. There is one ex-hospital is there. Wife is coming to that OPD. Wife is not collecting any white money. She is collecting the patient's hand only in her hand. So she has seen today 20 cases. That money she is taking and going. She is not paying. First of all, it is your problem. White money should be always collect the white money. It should be in the OPD. And how come the wife will come and see the OPD without and collecting the money? Who allowed it? What the other partner, before it flares up, you should snap it there only. And now they are fighting each other like anything, like a small, and they are two having kids, but they are fighting like a small cat and mouse. Simple 10 patients money are first only snub it. Why I am talking this tone? When you are doing the partnership, never bother a small money, but be this thing. And partner, that pharmacy, that all those things will matter too much when the pharmacy, because I am telling you, even Duryodhana became the same way, every day putting into bad. He knows which is what was dharma was, but he could not follow, because every time Shakuni was telling to fulfill his wish, he was putting the same thing. So never do groupism in your hospital also, with some favorite to one nurses, other favorite to one nurses. That is one more thing, dear friends. And the second thing, suppose if your first 6 months partnership will be very good, dear friends, because you are paying, no money will come. If 100 rupees is coming, other partner will think I am earning 1000 rupees. There the fighting will start, dear friends. So in the partner, legal advisor, actually beautifully people were telling legal advisor and bylaws should be very strong. And one more thing, never allow this partner should do this work, that partner should do that work. Never. Even in the major money, where the problem will come, where the money flows. Where the problem will come, where the female is there. Where the problem will come, where the proud means ahankara, it is there. I'm not talking female means something, where you are showing groupism, partiality to a female. There the problem will come. You understood? Never show in your hospital. Okay, your family will be waiting in the house. And regarding the pharmacy, never allow one partner to decide what he is doing. Sit, everything to be open. Tell them. And partners should always meet and have it with the family, and should be relaxation mode. And why means, suppose if anything, so he will take, suppose if one person partner is having a small hospital there, other partner, sir, he is the pharmacy in charge, he is taking a kickbacks in the vaccine to the other hospital. This minute idiot things will come in the partner's brain. That is the first 6 months, everybody will be happy. So after that, once again, this brain, no evil, will start acting, dear friends. That is the fraudulence. We are born with the leadership quality, not always to work. Once after 2 years, you have to move. I am telling you, doctor, like Kishore, or my own friend, my classmate, my friend Shekhar, or others like that. You should keep on expanding your things. Never sit into the one hospital. See, never put an egg in a single basket. Put a multiple egg, at least multiple baskets. That is good. And you should keep on moving and venturing into the multiple things. So you should trust some people to leave. Okay, you should do. But if it is there, I told you, be very strict. Sack that person. You will get the other person. Okay, dear friends, and company, where and all fraudulence will occur. When you buy the company will show you big, good things. Like what they will keep in what is that exhibitions is different. What they will give you is different. What they will show you is different. What they will give you inside is different. Quality is important. They will tell they have repaired it, but they will replace that. They will tell, sir, it has gone. We are replacing. So be careful. Replacement is different. Repair is different money. But for that, see that your biomedical person should not mix with the company. Because ultimately person, when it comes to the evening hours after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the person, if it is like this, have an eye on him always. His weakness, you understood, I don't want to talk. You can see my body language. He will see his loose talk. If he is having a loose talk, that means he is not good. Okay, number one. Finance fraudulence in the partners. I told you. So some partners, what they will do, so it is happened in a huge big hospital in Bangalore. They have 4 or 5 branches. I don't want to tell the names. Usually what they will do, they will take the partners, they will show last, they will eat, see that other partner will leave it. They will go off. So this is all caucus in group of some partners. You understand? Be aware, dear friends. Then I want to tell this. I don't want, and now whoever it is, whatever it is, I am not commenting. No disclaimer. I am not commenting on this earth anybody. I am disclaiming myself, and I am not pointing out towards any person here, and I am not pointing at any hospital here. This is all the things before constructing my own, and I thought in my brain, and it is coming in the flow chart. Please, dear friends, if you are opening one hospital in your place, do you think neighbor hospitals will be okay? TV itself, there is a TV, Vanida TV, owner's pride, neighbors envy. When TV ad only is coming like that, do you think other hospital people, owner will keep quiet? If you are coming up in a big hospital, absolutely difficult. That also doctors, I am condemning myself because we don't have a, what is that, unity in among ourselves. See the lawyers, can you touch the lawyers? Can you touch? But see, everybody plays like in football with the doctors. I am orthopedician. I don't have any relation with you. I am an IAP person. I don't have relation with neonatologist. I am a neonatologist. Why should I do this? Among ourselves, we are having fight. We are having egoism. There is one thing. That means we don't have food to eat properly, but we want something to show key. Okay, please, we don't have unity among ourselves. If doctors, one word is enough, like Indians. So there is some person has come, it seems, from abroad. They told, I never seen one Indian. Why you went to India? Yes, I went to Kashmir. They told Kashmirian. I went to Punjab, Punjabi. I went to Karnataka. I went to Andhra. They told I am Andhraite. Kerala, they told I am Keralite. Arey yaar, Indian I never saw in India. Like that, we don't have this thing. So do you think our neighbor hospitals are leaving to live like that? See what they're all doing. Because whatever I took it, my 1999 onwards, I have opened 5 hospitals. Okay, and I worked for somebody. I gave it. I saw all these things. So what they will do? First, they will catch the receptionists. So they will, what they will do? Okay, that through somebody, they will catch the receptionist. Okay, we are running. If you are having some brother, sister or family, we will give the job to you. Slowly, they will catch the receptionist. So she will be happy. No, Neenu itkolamba. please take yourself. They will send some kaju or something bullshit to put like an, fishing. Okay, throwing a stone or they will talk very nicely. Okay, and slowly they will ask, who is the doctor there taking more cases? Slowly she will tell that is happened, this is happened, sir, because of what is BA, BSc, they might have studied. And they want somebody, doctor is having sympathized talk and good talk. They're giving work for their somebody relatives or something. And if any relative is happened something, they're taking care. So slowly she will start revealing. Slowly with one infection, one worm will have 4 worms. She will sit with the other reception. Array, that doctor has spoke very good to me. Oh, what, you are in the night duty. Okay, you do like this. That slowly she will spoil her. Slowly she will spoil her. So what? Slowly these people will inject a poison in the receptionist. If the case comes, who is referring doctor? So this neighboring doctor will come to know who is that referring doctors to this hospital through the receptionist. One. Second thing, if cut the phone, you tell go there, no doctor is available in this hospital. So this is the way the neighboring doctors through somebody, if possible himself or with their relatives, will tell to them. If possible, they will go to the neighbor house, put a poison to this receptionist brain through some female organ. This is all the things are going on, dear friends. Be careful when you open. Put an eye on the receptionists. How they will behave, what they will talk. Always, that is the reason, like a counseling, how they will keep the mic, you should keep. It will happen even in the corporate too. Then come to the accountants. Same thing, they will put a biscuit there also. They will take all the accounts, what is happening. And some hospitals, they have gone to even to IT, income tax people, given all the things. IT people have, no hospitals will have something, everything white. So they will give everything, see that IT people will come. And who is given? Nobody has given. What is there? Nothing. Then accounts are, they have come, they have sat on my head with a gun. I have to tell everything. But he is the culprit. Please be careful, dear friends. Okay, then IT people, same thing. They will cut the camera or they will cut something. Our computer is not working every time. These all the things are OT staff. I don't want to tell about the OT staff. Whatever the laparoscopy purposefully, tomorrow operation is the laparoscopy, today not working. Today operation is there, anesthesia machine is not working. Today operation is there, oxygen is not working. Operation is there, equipment is gayab. Gayab means it's not there. Please have an eye on them. It's all whatever I am talking, it's a truth. Active nursing staff in the floors, purposefully they will go, they will spoil. Pharmacists though, some hospitals, trust me dear friends, they went to the pharmacist. What is happening? All these things they have collected. They went to the druggist, store druggist. They're telling that hospital is not doing well. Please don't supply the vaccines. Don't supply the pharmacy. They don't have money to give it. This is the neighboring hospital owners cutting throat to the new people. If you are not, you are difficult. If you are not keeping one eye, it is difficult. Okay, ambulance driver though everybody will give cuts. It's open danda ho gaya. I don't want to tell, this is the truth. Okay, number one. Second thing, and catching that ambulance driver, where you are going, which doctor is coming, what that purposefully puncture kar do, and while going it is not there, and sir it is not there, sir that I will send the vehicle, you call, okay madam, this always this ambulance is like that, that hospital is like that, he will only between something happens, okay call that hospital, see that ambulance will come, they will take them. This is happen. Then leave it about the admin. If he is with somebody's hands, like Beliye Hoddu Yeddu Hola Maidange, means in our own hospital, in our own owner, in his own house, he is only a thief. Okay, maintenance in charge, same thing, security, MRD, be careful dear friends. They will see that either fire will be placed in your MRD, they will see that medical legal case will be gayab, it will just vanish. See that they will leave some community people or some group of people, and that is medical legal, then that case sheet won't be there, then your hospital will be always going to the court of law. So this is all the things neighbor hospitals people can do for you people. I am not telling about any hospital. It is happening like a naked secret. Okay. Then duty doctors, they will grab the duty doctors. They're not paying. Why you are coming? You come here. Damaging oxygen lines, surgical equipment, and I don't want to tell you, even electricals while they will spoil. Incidents one, what all the things my friends have faced in the North India and neighboring hospital people who are influential people going to the government hospital administrators, troubling you. Even DHOs and the municipal, they will trouble you. Leave about all those things. They are one community, won't like other community. They will take the gang people and send some people for purposefully to make the breakage and some news said that they will do the mileage. So everything keep in your mind, dear friends. You should be now only each point you take a snapshot. What you should do, everything you should know. Then leave about spreading the wrong message is also important. And I have seen very low-minded and very bad going to the electricity man, giving the money, cutting the electricity before the OT and making your DG not work. Water supply cut off. Telephone in your hospital, they will purposefully cut off. You understood, dear friends? This is all the fraudulence. And I took this one. Please, dear friends, your OT staff, your staff morphine, they will take and go. Then drug addict, slowly, now only you know that Ragini, Divedi, all those people. This morphine will go outside, your hospital will come to the limelight, then they will close your OT. Then morphine they will take and go. They will write in a case sheet we have given, but you are supposed to give that morphine. So you don't see every day. So they will use it, they will bring it and keep it here. Be careful every day, morning and evening. What is staff? Be careful. They will take the drugs, suture materials. Where I should not tell. Where I am working, when the patient is bringing, they are taking it and selling it outside for the lower price to the this thing. So what about your hospital reputation? Okay, this is all the disposable stock. When construction is only that construction people only will eat the money. Quotation and price fixing. Suppose your hospital is done now. So you are believing the admin or marketing person. What he will do, or a purchasing person, he himself will create a 3 quotation and he will only do the price fixing. He will bring, you are busy. I know that everywhere you cannot, but dear friends, what I am telling, whatever it is, please, God has given us 24 hours. I think so. Modi is working for, I don't know how many hours. I didn't see from my eyes. People do tell 18 hours. At least I am also working for 18 hours at present since 6 months. We can work. We don't die. Only will. Okay, dear friends. So commission, purchase, everything you involve. Then legal. I have heard it. Whatever I am talking, I am not talking to anybody and doing it. I know that which hospital had this problem previously, and it is true, and see that your nursing hostel, if you are having, see that your nursing in charge should be always in the camera lens. See that everything WhatsApp, everything should be correct, because there is a prostitution was going on in some institutions. Something they got caught. Later they removed the NS. Then they have removed all those staff. 50% of staff has come down. Later they recruited. Later I don't want any nursing hostel only. So everything outside, even outside nurse. I am not talking about the nurses. I'm talking about any staff, because you cannot control any individual thoughts. I'm not talking about any individuals here. I am very straightforward in my talk. If something goes little wrong, your hospital branding or image will go down. And I have seen some night duty staffs are telling the people, अरे होटल रूम 5000 होता है यार, 800 rupees 1000 rupees होता है, रूम में आ जाओ ना. This is the things, please. What I am talking is, this is the things. If you are not, your admin is not strict. Sir, I will come at 9 o'clock, sir. I will go at 4 o'clock. Remove him as from admin. You have given your life to the admin. your life. If the admin is good, you are giving your life to him. See that everything admin should be very rugged and very strict. Okay, and that is the way admin should be behave. Okay, because why admin? So I am not talking CO and other things. These are all the things how to keep it. Okay, thank you. We all should work together. I have not told against anybody, because when you are giving each and every penny of money taking from the bank, I know that if you take 4 crores, 4,20,000 you are paying for the interest. Then what you are eating, dear friends? For that, why somebody should come and eat your money? Okay, all the best. Thank you, dear friends. Over to Prashant.
Thank you, sir. I think we'll start the wonderful presentation, sir, and we
How
can
to
start
stop the
the discussion.
Okay, anybody wants to ask anything? People are there around.
Susee.
A lot of things, Dr. Dinakaran. Never thought of it. We know a lot of things are happening, but never thought of it at this level.
Oh, sorry. I am not a legal lawyer or anything. It's all what I learned from my life.
Yeah,
especially especially the lower grade staff.
No, Susee, it's a misconception that it happens in the lower grade staff. I think what Dinakar has said, we have experienced all of them plus more when we started Cloud9. The first 5 years were very painful because people pretended, joined as employees, stole things and stole the plan, recreated different brands. So a lot of things have happened to us all.
At our sites, we supply pumps. We give pumps, motors, machines. All of them will be missing. Nobody knows where it is gone.
Absolutely. I think
Sir,
Dinakar has touched upon the various practical aspects which nobody will ever think or dare to tell or talk about it, because it's like a myth, or sometimes it's thought to be, look, you want to be politically correct and you don't utter things, but that is the reality. It happens even today, it has happened yesterday, and it will happen tomorrow. So I think you need to be mentally prepared, and you need to be toughen up, and you need to learn to deal with it. Otherwise, it will eat you alive. I think that is one thing which Dinakar has really warned anybody. It is not a warning to get you depressed. It is a warning to get you prepared mentally. I think Susee has not seen this because she's an architect. She constructs beautiful things and disappears.
Not really. And again, you open my eyes. I know what to do next.
Okay, sir. Rajiv sir, Dr. Rajiv, you want to add anything regarding my talk? No, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Can you hear now?
Now, yes.
Now, yes. See, Dinakaran, this is going back to almost 30 years. What you told today is all happening in various time scales.
Yeah.
But I will tell you one thing.
Please.
You have to keep your case sheets under control. The case sheets you have in your hospital, keep it under lock and key of the days over, because the whole information regarding a consumer case comes from our own staff robbing the case sheet and giving it out. So when you come to consumer case, be very prepared that the opposite party will know what the hell you're doing and they'll have all the evidence against you. So please keep the case sheet as a very important security measure under lock and key, especially electronic records. Nobody should have access to your case sheet. That's extremely important. Number two, second thing is the administrator and the security cameras. To a large extent, you can see all this irregular activities going on. But if the administrator at night is strong and is not part of the game plan of our enemies, then the whole thing will be under control. Generally, ex-army men are okay. I had taken ex-army men because my father was brigadier. So by default, I took ex-army men. Of course, they may have 1 or 2 pegs extra, but the integrity of the person to control the thing at night is extremely important, because the night control is the whole, your name will come or go depending on the night control of your hospital. So all the voltage, even low voltage things which happen, like the medicine is not given in time or the food is not served in time, these small quality measures will become a big problem, and the public will say, there if you go, the food comes 1 hour late to patients or the food is bad. So the night administrator is a critical part of your family. No more your employee. So better you keep somebody who you really, preferably ex-army men. Only be careful they don't drink too much. But I think the night administrator is a key person in your hospital. And thirdly, when we came to the topic of 25 beds, 50 beds, and 100 beds, and all, I don't buy all that. You have to take all your professional doctors as your partners. In a business model of the future, there are no more employees. So in the hospital which I commanded with 250 beds, each and every head of department was a shareholder in the hospital. So the annual income which comes, they given to them, so they never leave. So the business model for the future is all your head of departments, money making golden hens will be your partners, and by year end you share the profit and make them happy, because in the long run they think it's their own hospital if they are shareholders. So in this business model, if you follow even 100 bed, 250 bed, nothing is going to happen. You will have all your beds full. The moment you enforce the wrong business model, that I am the boss and you're the employee, that business model doesn't work in the current scenario. So each and every one of your head of departments who are bringing in money, make it his own home and say, you give me this much profit from the investment I made, and you run the show. In that model only you can succeed in the future. So then on that base, you base the number of beds, 25% expansion every year, plus or minus, so that your floor plan of the hospital or whatever you have should take at least plan for 100 beds. You may make up to 40 beds, but in the future, like Madam said, if you want to expand higher up, you won't have the base, the ground, what do you call it? What is the name? Architectural name I forgot. The ground should support the 100 beds. So this business model will work. And after a few years, go for a public issue, go to share market. 55% will be in your hands, and 45% will be a public issue. Then this model only will succeed.
Yeah, Dr. Dhananjay. Dr. Dhananjay. Yeah, Dr. Kutre, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Dr.
very
Dhananjay,
grateful.
Dhananjay, what is your view about the architectural view, and what we should take, because you are building now 100-bedded hospital and you are a successful businessman, as well as you are now recently opening 100-bed hospital, as well as about this fraudulence. Both. First one, take one question, and second one.
Regarding fraudulence, like you told, while like how to take, like admin will be taking 3 or 4 quotation by himself and doing fraud. To avoid that, you should have a very good friend, hospital owner outside your city. Like I should have a good friend of mine in Davangere or Bangalore, so that I can compare the. It's like it for if you have busy practitioner, it's very difficult for you to collect all the quotations and compare, and it's difficult because n number of quotations you need to collect. For that is best thing is to compare with the other friend who is running the hospital, same hospital, and compare like how much is the, what is the material and how much he is getting. For example, a warmer, how much he is getting for like whatever, like that's an example. It's better to have a good friend of you outside other than your city. You should have to compare. That is the one easy thing how you can avoid this one. And structure wise, like it's better not to go with a own property in a own land. It is always better to go with a leased site, and if you have a good amount of money, it's better to build on your own. And money is a shortage of money, then it is better to go with a rented house. See, these three models are there. It's always best thing is works out is take the site on the lease, because almost majority of the places in tier 2, tier 3 cities, it is tier 1 cities, it's mainly the land area, which is the costlier affair. It's always better to make that as a lease site. You should take it as a lease and build it. That works out better than having own property. And I have a few questions for the speakers. Dr. Dinakar, can I ask? Around 5-6 questions are there.
No. You are please, dear.
Yeah. Like for Kishore sir and for Rajiv sir and for you, like it should be how many ICU beds, if there is a ICU bed proportion to the ward beds, how much, like 1:3 or 1:4, like that. One. Second is OPD area per consultant, if it is a pediatric hospital. Second. And third one is like majority of the time, like it is very difficult to construct a hospital as per the norms of the building norms. Like for example, in our area, even if you leave exactly setback for I'm right now and 100 bedded adding for that particular area, exactly I'm left the setback, but it is, we have to go up more than 15 meters. If you go, then fire norms comes. So how to deal with that? Third one. And fourth one is what is the ideal like whether for Kishore sir especially, like it's a if you are running a good pediatric hospital, adding on a OB, which is good. Whether to run, if you want to make it as a multiple hospital, whether to go with a maternal child is the better one, or multi-speciality, adding on more specialty is good. Like if you want to do a chain of hospital. So these are the questions. And also to have a graduate of the nursing staff, whether to have a nursing college is a good option, or we can manage like that. See, these are the questions. Please take like anybody want to add on, please.
Ranjay, the first question you asked about the PICU beds or ICU beds.
Yes, sir.
So the questions which you need to ask, that is, if you're planning to have a accreditation program eventually, and you plan to have IAP accreditation or ICU accreditation, the minimum number of beds is 12.
Okay.
So you have to plan in the long run. But if you say, look, I'm not going to plan all that accreditation, I'm going to be serving only tier 2 or tier 3 cities, and I don't have the capacity to manage 12 beds, then you have to decide in the geographical area which you are serving, what is the current number of ICU beds available. But if you are the first person to start ICU, then you have the first movers advantage. So that would determine how many ICU beds you are going to create, because each ICU beds, depending upon what sort of ICU you create, it will cost you 50,000 to 1 crore per bed investment. So if you're really talking about ICU, then the investment also counters, and that also determines how much you are going to invest. So the number of available is sorry.
The question was, if you have a 10-bedded ICU or 12-bedded ICU, how many ward beds should we have? Like after shifting, like there is any regular proportion like 1:2 and 1:3.
Yeah, you don't have to have like that, depending upon what you classify as ICU beds. If you are going to take high dependency also in ICU, then you don't need to. But if you want to calculate purely on step down ICU, then the number of beds usually expected is 1:2. So 10 ICU beds need to have 20.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Already, I think so. Dhananjay, you applied for the DNB. You are about to get right. You got it right.
We have DNB seats are 4 seats this year.
Yeah. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Congratulations.
and now go to
Dhananjay, can I
Shekhar?
make a comment?
I
Dhananjay,
have a point.
Yes, madam.
can I make a
I have
comment?
a point.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, Dr. Rajiv, go ahead.
No, let the lady speak.
Dr. Dhananjay, I just wanted to bring out Dr. Kishore. I just wanted to bring out that, emphasize that point. How many number of beds of ICU plus the ratio of the IP, right?
Yes.
Is that what we were discussing it there? There are hospitals runs only with NICUs, right? There are a number of NICU. There is NICU specialists. Hospitals are there. So depends on your operation. What are you going to focus on? Are you going to bring in mother and child in there, or you're going to focus only on the ICU part of it? That depends on your business module majorly. There is no thumb rule that 1 to 2 is the patient ratio. I'm sorry, Dr. Kishore, am I?
No, I agree. That's what I told.
Yeah.
Normally, you have to decide what you're creating the beds as, whether you are using them as a high dependency or totally ICU. That's what determines. That's what I said.
Exactly.
Okay.
Dhananjay, can I speak to you now?
Yes, sir.
See, I think you're going the right direction, you see. You must have a phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And our own experience, see, what happened was, when you have neonatology, you must have maternity. Otherwise, it's not cost effective. Maternity or NICU on its own is not cost effective. Because I ran 25 beds 30 years back. That's a big unit. So without maternity, don't plan your NICU. Clear,
Yes,
no?
sir.
So it will be
Correct.
maternity and child unit. Then you will need ICU. So roughly 7 beds, you may need 7, regular beds, you may need 1 ICU.
Okay.
Now, second part of the story is the way you're going, see your OPD turnover per day
Okay. Yes,
or
sir.
per month. Eh?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And instead of losing that patient to some other hospital, in the long run, you lose the patient. Because when you go some other hospital as admission, you lose the patient, and patient will say, why go there? I'm going to a hospital where they're admitting facilities. So as pediatricians, it's always better to have an ICU bed. It can be at any level, level 1, level 2, level 3, it doesn't matter. But if you don't have an ICU bed and need a pediatrician with at least 50, 60 OPD per day, it's bad for you because it will work bad against the institution. So both for sake of gynec and pediatric and an ICU, we must plan an ICU bed accordingly. Clear, no? So
Yes,
roughly
sir.
one regular bed in the room, maybe 7 beds, you may have 1 ICU bed, or maybe to make it 10:1. 10 beds, 1 ICU bed. But NICU, if you are having, depends on delivery. Suppose you are using 40 deliveries a month, not too bad. 1 delivery per day. Or you are going to 2 deliveries per day and it goes to around 80 deliveries per month. Then you must plan an ICU because it is part of the quality of your care. So suddenly a baby is sick, then you send him to some other hospital. The community and the patient will lose faith in you. In the long run, the propaganda will come. Why go there? They are not geared for an ICU. So when you are busy as you are now, you must plan in a phased manner, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. That okay, I will start an ICU, but I will take only level 2. I will not ventilate the baby because my proficiency is only in level 2. I will have a few ICU beds because in case the mother after delivery has some complication, you need an ICU bed. You can't say I'll be shifting you with the. So let us plan for at least 6 beds in the ICU. It can be maternity or medical or whatever, because the maternity lady may have a heart problem. Then where are you going to do at night? You can't do that. So when you're planning this scale of pediatric alone, you must have a maternity and childhood unit and go in a phase that, okay, I will do level 2 first. Then when I do very well, I'll go level 3. But plan for at least 6 to 7 beds minimum in your newborn ICU. It will always be full. Take it from me.
Yes, sir.
But
Dr.
please,
Shekhar Supriya?
pardon?
Shekhar,
But please follow the business model. Which of your colleagues you're taking as your,
if he's not there, leave it.
If your colleagues you're taking as your partner, make them a partner in your business, so that at the year ending you will have a balance sheet. I'll give you 20%. Finish. So he never leaves you.
Okay.
Consistency of the staff of your head of departments is why you are making a success. So when I started my hospital 250 bed almost 30 years, this advice was given to me by nobody else than KM Cherian's boss. You know who's KM Cherian?
Yeah.
He's the founder of pediatric cardiology in South India. So he told me, don't run business without your colleagues being partners. Then you are solid in time. Maybe your classmate, maybe the gynec, but they should not leave you in the long run. Then only your beds will become full. And be careful about propaganda. Maintain all your files so that nobody has access to a case sheet. Number two, so that case sheet has been protected at all times. And please record all your critical signs and everything in case and make it up to date on that day, night itself. Don't wait for tomorrow to make your critical signs in a serious patient next day. The same day, you must update your files and make sure that in case audit comes, yes, we are ready. We have seen the patient like this, we have transferred so and so. So all this you have to be careful. Then you can avoid what Dr. Dinakara said, that all the fraudulent type of activity will go on when you're good. This happened to me also. But in the long run, if you maintain quality of your services, NICU, your pharmacy, your system, these things will erase off. When I started previous with 100 beds, it went 250 beds. All these things which are mentioned, prostitution, he's doing unethical practice, he's simply ventilating, all this will come. But in the long run, your best advertiser is your own patient. Suppose a newborn baby goes home in good shape. Some bill may be extra, maybe, but your credibility will overrule all this in the long run. That's what he wanted to ask me. What do you do with fraudulent claims on you?
Yeah. Rajiv, I need one thing. Just to hold on, please.
Yeah.
Dr. Shekhar.
Yeah.
What is your experience about the, I think so you will be knowing Susee very well. Yeah, you know her, right?
Yeah.
Susee, you know Dr. Shekhar?
Susee, I'm Dr. Shekhar. I met you in 2016 when I was starting Kangaroo Care. We met in Coffee Day in Sadashiv. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
How are you, doctor? Good.
Now he is becoming more younger. That is the reason you are not able to recognize. See, like Rajiv, I saw Rajiv in 1999. He's same. Now also he's same. See, now I became old. He's still same. Like Shekhar also same.
Yes.
Okay, Shekhar, what is your experience?
Experience in
about the real architectural things. Number one, why I am asking is, see, suppose now I am a beginner. How better I can use the architect, because we are having something in our brain. We are requesting the architect. See, some junior architects might not know how to about the hospital, but senior architect might know everything, but their charge per square feet is like a 7-star hotel. For beginners, it will be very difficult. No, I'm not commenting on anybody. So how they won't come down. This is my, like a Supreme Court lawyer. Per hour mera itna hai. But we are beginners, we cannot. Okay. What is your experience? That is number one. Second thing about the fraudulence, you tell me. Because you are the very good entrepreneur, everything.
Okay. For the first question, I met Susee in 2016, and she's got a lot of experience and she's very creative. We spoke for 2 hours, if I'm correct. And I also met another 2-3 architects at that time. But one thing I understood is Susee is very good, and my affordability towards Susee was not much. So then I slowed down my scaling and went to a new architect, and it worked for both of us because he also learned and we also learned from him. And when we are beginners, we have to budget very, very tightly, right from bargaining with the owner and architect and the project vendors, etc. So yeah, so we may have a beginner architect who charges us less, but he may not know much, unlike Susee. But we have to take that risk, and also we should work together more harder than what is supposed to be. So that's my first answer. The second question what you asked me is definitely till now I have not faced any major issues apart from bit of money, mismanagement, very, very micro level, I would say. For that, we have new softwares, that is
Recently we got it, and we can avoid those things. When it comes to medical records, when it comes to damaging the property, when it comes to XYZ, what you mentioned, I have not come across. The main thing is you should have a very good team. You should take care of the admin team. You should actually monitor them. And in that way, when you are very effective in monitoring everybody, you can minimize it. I can't say that we can't get any case, but we may get in future, but definitely not in my hospital. Thank you. Hello?
Shekhar,
Yeah, the second question, Dhananjay, you were asking. Hello?
Sir, hello, sir. We can hear you.
Dhananjay was asking the second question. Hello?
Hello, sir. Tell me.
Yeah. So the things Dhananjay was asking is very simple. You can do like Shekhar. He worked with us for 10 years and then learned and then started his own brand. That is one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is you have to do the local market survey. Hello? Local survey. And then decide what is the thing. So when you talk about sorry, it's echoing.
See the fan behind.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now it's better.
Yes, we can hear, sir.
Good.
So one is you can definitely think about what pediatric surgery sort of revenue you will get, because generally in a pediatric subspecialty you will get revenues either from pediatric cardiology or from pediatric neurology or pediatric surgery. So you have to decide what is the patient load in your area and decide, because most of the income in pediatrics is ambulatory care. The IP income generation comes from oncology, cardiology, neurosurgery, ENT, and pediatric surgery. Otherwise, cough and cold, pneumonia treatment, and other things generally doesn't amount to justify the inpatients too much. Most of the pediatrics are heading towards ambulatory care, except for the 4 or 5 fields I talked about. So if you think in Shimoga or wherever you're practicing or opening hospitals, if your caseloads on these areas you're going to cater, then you need more IP beds. Otherwise, the number of IP beds you require is much, much lesser compared to the outpatient beds you need for the pediatric hospital. That is my suggestion. I'm back to you, Dhananjay.
Yeah. Dr. Shekhar?
Yes.
See, how you face the fraudulence in your hospital?
As I said, I have not faced too much with the slides what you put in. The only thing which I faced was about some micro money mismanagement, which happens everywhere. And for that, we have taken care with respect to the staffing and the softwares. Now we get new, what you call the credit card end terminals, where it is more stricter. You know, if it is only credit card, it takes only credit card or cash. Like it's a minute thing. So definitely, when it comes to money, we should be more careful. And staff background also is very important. When we select somebody, we should not be in hurry. So these are the only 2 things. When it comes to medical record, I think nowadays we are going on iCloud. So we have to store it in a right place and give it to a private agency. So this is my experience.
Okay. Dr. Kutresh, sir. Dr. Kutresh, sir, what is your experience? You are a panelist with us, sir.
Yeah. See, when I started my clinical practice at my native Shikaripur rural area, there was 1987-88. I was the first person to start pediatric hospital in those area. There was only minimal 10 beds spread. That time, there was no question of fraudulity, no question of obstruction. Everything went sincerely because there was no competition. As the medical fields goes generation by generation, there are a lot of changes now. In those days, there are no warmers, no takeoff inside of 1.25 kg babies also. There are no facilities also. So after 10 years or 20 years, when I came back to Shimoga area, I was the first person to start clinical maternal and pediatric hospital in the state, in the district, I mean. So when we started, that area also, we have level 2 care, we have taken, even we have surveyed maximum number of babies, 1.2, 1.3 kg babies. That time there are no competition. As last the generation takes away every 10 years, so this competition takes over now, then the fraudulity comes. I heard a lot of people have faced also. I think it is a Kannada one math ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬಿದ್ಲು ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸೋತ ಮೀರ್ ಸಾದಕ್ಕಿದ್ದ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಹೋದ ಮಲ್ಲಪ್ಪಗೌಡ ಸಜ್ಜನಿದ್ದ ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಹೋದ ಹಾಗೆ the people who are very near to us, they only can take away from outside with the outside support. My wishes is the everything, whatever may be the practice, whatever may be the friendship, everything should go in a safe way. A healthy practice always wins the race. When I have started my practice in 1986, I have grown up in the pediatric field with the service, with the income, with the generating hospitals also. Now I have finished all the, I can say, too proud to say, NNF president, IIP president, I am the chief of the NRP coordinator at the national level. So with all the prevention measures, we have been spread the message to the clinical practice, advise to the rural people also. For this rural area service, I have won the Rajasthan Award in 2008. So with the recognition of this thing, we think should be a humble way to give the practice. Competition, of course, we should do in a healthy way, not in a fraudulentary, as Dinakara said. As I like the madam regarding the architectural plan, see madam, see everything it changes. What 10 years back, what 20 years back, what is present now. So sharing of bed like Kishore Kumar said is excellent area. You have to keep patient income, doctor surveying, and as well as the income wise. So you should balance everything. Ultimate main aim is whatever we have taken oath when we enter the MBBS graduation, the oath still holds. We have to serve the people at a good level and a healthy level. Then only we can get the courage to live in the or face to somebody. This fraudulity should not be there. I mean, all the fields have got a frauds. I am very feel bad that medical field should not enter because we are doing the human service. You know what is corona? Relatives we cannot go, we cannot touch. How the situation has come now? Even death occurs, we cannot go. So this should not happen to any society. My wish, the things should be there in our hand. We should face problems. We should solve the problem when they ethically. I'm very happy that Madam's plans of architecture, Dinakara works also, and I'm happy that my mentor, Dr. P.K. Raju, whom I have studied under him when he was there in PVS hospital. I was there with him for 2 years. I got the knowledge from him only. Luckily, yesterday night I got a message, so I asked him to stay back this one. I'm very happy to see Raju after 15 years, and Subbaya Shekhar also informative regarding these things. I liked all the friends of mine. To grow subject is main as a president of this present situation now. My word is make it newborn mortality at 0 level.
Thank you very much, sir. And sir, yeah. It's a very good. Just I'll ask one last question in case if you are comfortable, sir. Do you think in the hospital? I am not talking about 20 bed for this thing. At least please imagine, because there is a question, it has come to popped up in my this thing. 70 bed plus hospital within 100 beds. So we have in the first floor, second floor waiting area, third floor is an ICU. We have a little waiting area. So Dr. Sidhu is there here. I am not able to see him. Now I am able to see him. Okay. So he is also our panelist. I think so. He's busy in COVID duty. So he removed his PPE and he came, I think so. Okay. Doctor, just I'm asking you, first floor, second floor, little waiting area for the, what is it, rooms. Third floor is an ICU, only counseling area is there. Do you think in the ward of 70 bedded hospital, if you are admitting the baby in the NICU, or if your relatives are there in the ward, where is the place to keep their relatives? Suppose if my wife is getting admitted in one hospital, if it is a sharing bed, okay, for not delivery or anything, for some other problem where her mother is going to stay. Because if everybody starts staying in that hospital, they will take a bath. Why should I give them a geyser hot water? Okay, they are staying too. For them, they will bring the food. So what you people have designed in your brain, Dr. Susee, where you have designed how they will, where they should eat, because suppose one patient is get admitted in the hospital, where her relative should sleep if it is a twin bedded. Okay, because twin bed patient will stay where their relatives should stay. Suppose if it is a NICU, mother comes where if the my hospital beds are full, if because down where the mother will stay.
Can I answer
Or
this, sir?
for the mother, because if she is delivered, for the mother, her mother will stay where they will stay. What is the plans in your hospitals? If it is a twin bed.
Can I answer?
Huh?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Who is this?
Dr. Sarji.
Sarji, Heli.
Sir, what
Please tell.
I have done is it's a indirect way of marketing. Okay. Giving comfort to the patient attenders is also indirect way of marketing, where others are not giving you, better give it and then make them comfort. If you give a good service, then more patient will come. What we have done is in the terrace, we have done in the pseudo roofing. In that, we have created a small dormitory area where they can stay, and we have constructed a bathroom and other utility area for them also. So they'll be very comfortable, and it charge minimal around 200 or 500 rupees. 200 or 500 rupees like that. So, but definitely they'll be happy, and we have made an area to for them to have food and all. That's an indirect way of marketing, giving more service and getting more patient.
Okay, see, Dr. Dhananjay Sarji, I have seen your hospital. It is excellent. It is, you have given in the rooftop. I know that it is like a general ward you have given, and few twin sharing also you have given. I have seen with your manager. Yes,
Yes, sir.
but suppose if
Yes.
for the PPL card holders it's okay. What about others? Sir, tell me, sir.
Susee wants to say something. She's raising
Yes,
her hand.
Dr. Susee, please.
I just have a different approach on all these things.
Please.
See, number
please.
one, we are looking at the categorization of the hospital, very important. Number two, security of the patients and the hospital. That's number two. Number three, as a result of that, we are allowing just one person at night to stay along with the patients, right? Where do we place them? We utilize in the couple of projects, what we have been doing is we have been utilizing the waiting areas, okay? Converting the waiting seats into the beds.
Yes.
And we have been giving them at a nominal rate.
Yes.
For utilization of the relatives to stay at night. Now, for them to use their things, see, general wards, if suppose it is a general ward, right? A general ward depends on the categorization. If it is high end or a mediocre end, the categorization of general wards will be very minimal. And what we have been doing for those people, we have been giving them a comfortable seat and chair. We have been giving them locker facilities to keep their materials. And then we have been giving them, like into the public toilet areas, we have been giving them one shower area for them to take their shower, right? So we have been monitoring and controlling these patients' relatives staying at night into that part of a thing. Rather than that, we never give a complete dormitory sort of a thing into the new facilities due to the security reasons. The hospital will have to be very strict on how many people are staying at night. Just allow one person after hours. Not allowing 2, 3, 4 people at a time.
Yes, yes.
That is a comfort level. That is a comfort level that you have to feed on to the patients, because you don't need your relatives.
Yeah. Dr. Sidhu, you want to tell anything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree with madam. The reason being, if there is any issue, then all those relatives will create a problem for you, and there will be huge crowd which you have to manage. They will come with their mobile phone, carrying, recording all the stuff. And
Exactly.
if one attender is allowed, and if you say that is the hospital policy, that should not create a problem. That is what we have been doing in our medical college as well as in private practice. If you allow more number of them, if you start charging them, they'll brand you as the costliest hospital of a tier 2, tier 3 city, where they can't even afford the room charge of a neonate admitted in NICU. If you ask Bangalore, the charge is around 8,000 to 10,000, sir, for a ventilated neonate, if I'm not wrong. Whereas in our medical college, it's just 2,000 rupees. And they bargained for that. Trust me, I was late. The reason was this.
Dear Sidhu,
Yes.
we are talking, not talking about medical colleges, dear Sidhu.
No, sir. Private
You
practice.
previously
Sir,
worked
the
this
same
year.
holds for private practice also in Bijapur, sir. You
No,
know the
dear,
cost
you
factor.
worked
We have
previously
discussed.
in a private hospital. What
Yes.
was the policy there, dear?
In the private practice also, we used to allow one attender per child, sir.
One attender per where you should do, where you should use to admit them. Is it a general ward, or if they ask a special ward? Because if one neonate comes with 800 gram, if mother occupies that bed, if it is a twin sharing bed, if she occupies, she will stay for a month. So return on investment won't be there if you will occupy that bed.
Sir, we allowed a special room where they pay for that, sir.
Room, okay. But
Yes,
see,
sir.
suppose room, if you will give to the mother, see, whatever I am talking, it is practical. Everybody knows. You touch your heart, you know. Suppose the patient get admitted, so at least investigation, something, consultant, everything. If your NICU, all mothers will get admitted, then where the patient will get admitted. So what you are doing, Susee, or Sidhu?
NICU, you don't have to get the patient's mother admitted into that room because it is a sterile zone. You don't allow them.
Where mother will get admitted? Where mother will get admitted in the second floor, third floor?
The mother probably you'll have to look at giving another area at night to stay, or during the day the waiting area they will occupy the waiting area, or at night the waiting area will in turn will become a recliner sort of a seat. They utilize that area. If worst to worst happens, you have to provide them. You have to get in a guest house, whereas they can go stay there.
Yeah, very good, Susee. Why I asked is because in Gujarat, one of my friends, senior most doctor, whoever is staying, they are doing this. What they are doing is for the mothers, neighboring hotel next to that almost walking distance, they are asking them to go and stay there and pay the bill. There is no headache. For every 2 hourly, they will come and pay them. I mean, give the milk and go. Now also he is having that same mentality. They won't allow because very clearly, sir means he is very senior. He is Gujarati, you know, good juice. Okay, very. And what his version is, why should I give my water for mother? It's okay. If the BPL card we are supposed to give, it's okay. For other, she's occupying the bed. Number one. And number second thing, she's not delivered in our hospital, come from outside. Okay. Second thing, why I am telling he is a very successful. He is having 50 bedded NICU. Almost 40 bed is full. He is giving for all the mothers outside.
Get a guest house somewhere close by. Basically, that's the best answer.
She is doing that. So because why Dhananjay is doing is a top floor he is giving for the either BPL card for the normal mothers like a nominal fees. It's like a pure general ward, and what you told common toilet that is there. Suppose if the mother wants a special room, she will occupy 1.5 months simply. With her, definitely 4 or 5 people will use the water, but you are charging only 800 rupees for your electric bill will go more than 3,000.
Unnecessarily, exactly.
Ultimately, it depends on the class of people you are catering to, because can't make a general statement. Because even if you provide one floor, for example, if you go to Fortis Hospital and cardiothoracic surgery department, they have a dormitory where the attendants can stay, and dormitory has a bed typical like a dormitory with the locker and other things which are basic needs. But people are not happy because say that, look, I'm paying 5 lakhs for a cardiac surgery, and look, I have the bed I'm going to get, and I don't need to be in the hospital. I'll stay neighbor hotel. So they go and stay in the neighboring hotel. So it all depends on what class of people you are providing. And the dormitory which Fortis has created in the Bannerghatta Road is not an ordinary dormitory. It is quite a good standard level of dormitory with the decent beds and decent lockers. But people don't like it because there is no privacy with the toilet and other things. So ultimately, it depends on each individual person what the level of facility they expect, what level of. So you have to study the class of people you are catering to and provide accordingly.
Exactly.
So I totally agree with Dr. Kishore. And after this topic, I have two questions for Susee and Dr. Kishore. Can I ask that question or shall I wait?
No, you should. You can.
So for both of them, Susee and Dr. Kishore, what do you mean by tier 2 or tier 3 cities in your project wise, not theoretically? So you say Mysore is tier 2. I agree. And I've created more twin sharing, big twin sharing with attended cot next to it, like how we have done in Bangalore and how Cloud9 has done before. So, when do you call tier 2? Is it because of population or etc. etc.?
Tier 2, as I mentioned, tier 2 cities are expanding cities, I would call it. Okay. There is a lot of, as I mentioned, there could be multi-speciality hospitals there with different doctors. We are looking into expanding the specialty features into those particular cities. The reason is, number one, it is cost effective. Still, we can get good doctors. Right? So the classification of the hospitals that we look in there is, see, in class 1 cities, there could be people are high-end people. They wanted to go into specialty hospitals with a very, upscale look onto it, the feel onto it. As I mentioned, they have more spending power. As I mentioned, going into a branded hospital or a name hospital is a prestige issue for them. So they want to utilize that facility. So you can charge more and they can afford it.
Yeah.
Right? In the same thing, why should I sacrifice? I cannot go all the way from, say, for instance, Mysore to Bangalore. Definitely, if it is a branded hospital, people will travel from Mysore to Bangalore to have the baby. We have experiences. We have noted it down. Dr. Kishore, please correct me if I'm wrong. There are people looking only for Cloud9 to go have the babies. Okay. Chennai to Bangalore, they might not go, but they might come from Coimbatore to Bangalore. Yeah. Right? That is strictly the upper end people, the high end people want to utilize and want to be treated and created and have their babies in that particular environment. That's the only reason. And they have the spending power. Class 2 cities, that is the reason people may not have that sort of a spending power. You probably can, if it is a branded name, I don't know how the branded name will take up. You probably have to relook into a different pay schedules. Or equally, the same sort of hospital, you can look into it, but the cost is much cheaper. There people are coming, middle class people are coming, or slightly lower middle class might come. They probably have to create them twin sharing rooms or general wards for that purpose.
Yeah, Dr. Kishore, if you can add on.
Yeah. I think the tier 2 cities by definition is the non-capital cities of the state.
Yes.
Capital cities considered as tier 1 city and non-capital cities will be considered as tier 2. And the accessibility to the capital city or the tier 1 city makes a huge difference in most of the things. Again, it depends on your model. See, the effort that goes into creating a hospital in tier 2 cities is the same as the effort which goes into tier 1 city.
Correct.
The only thing is the land value or the building value is going to be less in the tier 2 cities. Now, if your bandwidth allows you to go to tier 2 cities and tier 2, 3 cities, and that's your strategy, then I think you can and you should. Otherwise, what happens is cluster approach works better. And if you have 2 or 3 hospitals in one city, the effort will be much lesser than having 2 or 3 hospitals in 2 to 3 different cities. And that's the gist of what I can tell. And if you have any
My actual thinking was Mysore will be a 1.5 hour journey after this highway. So I stay towards West Bangalore, and it's as good as reaching Whitefield. I can go to Mysore, and then there's a vacuum there. And the third thing was what I've understood, I've been told if there is a good population of 10 lakhs, you need one center. And I've made more print sharing than single rooms, big print sharing to make a good package. So that's one way, and I agree with you. The land value and the cost is less, but not the staffing. My other thing was when we say tier 2, what happens to Hassan? All those kind of cities. What do you call them, Dr. Kishore? Because of your experience, I want to know why Cloud9 has not gone into places like Hassan. It's a practical question I want to know, or it can be Hubli, or it can be XYZ places in Karnataka, just for example.
Yeah. I think the specific question why we haven't gone into tier 2 cities is, as I mentioned, we did a business analysis. What we found was the same thing. The effort which goes into creating a structure. See, once you have established standard, as Susee said, currently from the last 5 years, we roughly get about 6 to 10 deliveries per month from Mysore, and that has not gone up, that has not gone down. Irrespective of the number of brands which has been created in Bangalore, our Jayanagar still gets 6 to 10 deliveries from Mysore even today per month. So what I'm trying to say is, if you create a sort of a brand and your image, you have to continue that brand. You can't compromise on that brand when you go to tier 3 cities like Hassan, which you mentioned.
Correct. Yeah.
So in other words, I can't create a 3-star facility in Hassan because it's a tier 3 city. I have to create what I have created in Bangalore.
Correct.
So cost of structure is going to be high. And will I be able to afford the number of patients and the number of deliveries there for my class of construction? The answer is possibly yes, but it will be difficult. And I think we have to come up with a different model for a tier 2, tier 3 cities. That will be like creating Taj Vivanta versus, Ginger hotels and things like that. So I think that's the best I can describe. So Taj is present in rural areas by the name Ginger, but people may not realize that it's Taj, but it is not Vivanta because they know what you can expect in Ginger.
Correct.
So to create the differentiation, you will be able to go to tier 2, tier 3 cities. But we felt we have enough number of cities right now in India. At the moment, we are growing roughly about 4 centers per year, and we still have many other cities to cap before we think of tier 3 cities. That is the answer I can give you.
Because I had that concept of having a different name and going to tier 3 cities, but I thought I'll take your opinion and just think over about that. Okay, so my other questions to Susee was, when do you say it's economical, to have rupees 1,500 to 6,000 rupees per square feet will be the project cost? When it makes viable, is it 2,000 rupees per square feet is the good cost-effective project, or it is 3,000 rupees?
Depends on the materials that we use. Depends on the look that we are looking in for.
But again, that its architects will be difficult. That will be the business decision. Architects provide what we need. She will cater for 1,500 to 6,000. But most
that is true.
Used to creating 6,000 per square feet, and she may not be used to creating 1,500 rupees per square feet.
No, I totally agree. But my experience is putting our heads into this, and we can still get a good one for a lesser price per square feet. That's my experience for the first project. So, but I don't know the actual standard. If Susee being senior, so I just wanted a reference. Is it 3,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees per square feet?
I would take it up in a different way. Because that again depends on the classification of the hospital, depends on the type of clientele that you are looking in for, looking up to the model of the business, And
Yes.
then I'm calling it a business at this point. Okay, we are looking into generating revenue out of your property, out of your services. That what we are looking in for. And one other thing is,
Tier
as
one
I mentioned,
bank.
MEP is number one. We cannot sacrifice on MEP at all. You probably be able to sacrifice into the interior part of it. Instead of wallpaper, you can paint it. Instead of special paint, you can use a colorful paint. Okay. Instead of Korean top, you probably be able to take it up a different post-form laminated top. But the longevity of the product also that you have to look for. You don't want to make your hospital looking very shabby or looking old in 2 or 3 years. All right. So that is the reason. Again, wherever that, again, you say you have a budget of, that's all my budget.
Susee, you froze.
Going to be the cost of infrastructure. What is going to be the cost? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
What is going to be the cost of interiors? What is going to be the cost of technical areas? Definitely, you cannot sacrifice on OT. You cannot sacrifice on ICUs. You cannot sacrifice on medical gas lines. You cannot sacrifice on power backups.
What I meant was a balanced budget. Having all this in your facility. So what's the balanced budget? Is 3,000 rupees or 4,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees per square feet? Having everything in a balanced way.
Having everything apart, only on interiors you are looking at.
Yes, what you mentioned from 1,500 to 6,000 rupees per square feet. I meant that.
Yeah, that is one other thing. We just, for instance, we have done a multi-specialty hospital. Okay, there we have rooms which we have done for 2,000 rupees. There we have suite rooms which we have done over 6,000 rupees a square foot. So depends on the model, depends on the product that we are using, depends on the finishes that we are using. Imported, local, you can import from China, you can import from Italy, you can import from France, or you can import from Spain. So Italian will cost you more than Spanish.
Yeah.
This is strictly imported from Spain, including the wall panels, including the toilet accessories, including all the doors, including all the ceilings, lights, pendants, everything.
Yeah. So I think so, Dr. My question will be to Dr. Kishore and Dr. Dhananjay. Dhananjay, are you here? Dr. Dhananjay?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Dhananjay?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, your face I am not able to see, dear.
No, my charge is getting over. That's why I'm just on my phone.
Okay, at least can you see? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, to Kishore and Dhananjay. Dhananjay, your hospital will be using the oxygen, bleeds it more. I have seen it. PICU, NICU, so many cases.
Correct,
so,
sir.
Are you using whether a simple cylinder, jumbo cylinder, B2 or whatever it is, a big cylinder, D type, whatever it is? Okay, or are you using a liquid oxygen, or are you using the oxygen concentrator? What parameter you took to purchase that? Because there is a place, Susanna has told you have to plan it. She has told beautifully there is a regulations is there for oxygen, air, suction, this much. She told and she showed the picture. What you are using and what basis you took. There is a next class is going to come. Just I'll ask you your opinion, or simply like you took it, I'm using it, sir, it's going. For that question is for Kishore, because Kishore is having only deliveries. He won't be using much oxygen. So he knows what to take it.
I'm using a liquid oxygen tank, sir.
Liquid oxygen.
Tank.
When you started, which one you used here?
What is the backup in there for? Liquid oxygen. Is there a backup?
Yeah, we have a backup.
Okay, backup. This cylinders is there, liquid oxygen. Why you didn't take oxygen concentrator? It's more, initially it is costly, but later it will be very cheap.
No, it doesn't give 100% oxygen, sir. If it is like it's a
I know
percentage
that
of
it will
oxygen.
give 94 to 96%, but if you can calculate, I mean, what is it? Calibrate your machine, nothing will happen because motherhood, all the branches are using this. What is it? And because if your liquid oxygen also, that also bleeds outside. Not only even if you are using or not, but this one is better in all the ways. I know that only thing it needs a calibration of the machine. And nowadays, nobody uses 100% oxygen. Not more than 60, 70, it's outdated.
Yeah. For us, it's easy to get the liquid oxygen tank, and it's working out for us. And keep the oxygen concentrator. Again, it's a space occupancy is more, sir, compared to liquid oxygen tank. And also, hello.
We can hear you.
And also, I heard that there is a huge noise coming out of it. I don't know. I am not. No.
The compression pump gives a humming noise. Yes.
But Susee, we have seen the humming noise. It's like a generator. They will use it. It won't. It will same like the previous whatever the air will give. That it needs a generator.
It gives it is less than the generator, but it gives a humming noise.
Yeah.
But you'll probably be able to control it by giving rubber flooring and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
Plus, you have to have a dedicated space for that and a lot of air ventilation for that.
Yeah.
And also pressure generated by it is it okay, sir? I don't know. Like I don't have any idea. But
no, what you told, I didn't get you.
Pressure generated by the oxygen concentrator.
It's very good here because motherhood, I have seen all the motherhood till now 3 hospitals. They are using this, all are oxygen concentrators only. And according to their calculations, better than a liquid for a long run. Only thing initially is 18 lakhs, 16 lakhs or 23 lakhs or 30 lakhs or 30, as you ask for a more. That's it.
Okay.
But Kishore sir or anybody?
We are using liquid oxygen tank because
because liquid oxygen will work out for anybody near, but long run that is also expensive. Okay. Kishore sir.
We are using jumbo cylinders initially because at that time there was when we started in 15 years ago, I don't think liquid oxygen was widely available in Karnataka at least. But we have the newer hospitals running on oxygen concentration capacity. But a lot of other hospitals have got a jumbo cylinder running oxygen.
Yeah. Dr. Sidhu, you worked previously in one hospital before medical college.
Yes, sir.
How they are using? Because
liquid oxygen.
Liquid oxygen.
In the periphery, we prefer liquid oxygen as said by Dhananjay sir. Because the cost of putting 20 lakhs in one go is little difficult for us to manage. Other than that, sound and concentration is not an issue, but it's the cost factor that runs into problems, sir.
Because everybody nowadays are changing to the, because previously for that 100%, it is outdated, and only thing it needs a calibration. If that fellow will come and do the calibration, it will work out very cheap. Number one, only thing, if you will have a solar, your oxygen is almost free. So you will get it in 3 years if you will have a solar running with this. If it needs this thing, that is the reason what I came to know. Okay. So Shekhar, you have any idea? What, Dhananjay?
Yeah, one more question for you, sir. Like for the panelists, like if you want to do a lab inside the hospital, like you want to outsource it or it should have in-house lab. One. Second thing is whether from the lab collection sample collection room.
Sir, lab. Who is this asking?
Dhananjay, sir.
Dhananjay.
Regarding the lab, dear friend, we have 2.5 hours discussion. Like that, 2 classes are there only about the lab.
No, not about the lab, sir. It's the infrastructure. Like I am asking, like whether from the sample collection can be done in the ground floor and it can be chewed to the 3rd floor. Is it?
Yes,
better?
sir. I am using in my hospital at present ground floor. Ground floor, we are collecting the sample already. What is it? Pneumatic tubes.
Pneumatic.
Yeah.
to the fifth floor.
Static correction
It is
systems.
going to the fifth floor.
Suction chute.
Okay,
Fifth
that's
floor
what.
it is going. That is also 2.5 kilo. That
Yes.
2.5 kilo rocket.
I think to answer your question, Dhananjay, that is the better way, because if you ask the patient to go, then suddenly what happens is the patient wants to go to the toilet or restroom, or he wants to eat, then they disappear, then they go somewhere else for the blood test. So your
Okay.
chances of losing business, if you have a collection center anywhere other than ground floor, is going to be at least 30%. So better to have it in ground floor.
Dhananjay, you contact me later after this talk. I'll
Sure.
give that Prashant Chinta person outside. Pneumatic people will charge around very heavy, 15-16 lakhs. Other person will charge very less. So
Okay.
I think so he's going to talk in the next class. His name
Sure.
is Prashant Chintu. You call me later. I'll give you the number.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Anything, questions? Any people wants to ask the dignitaries, panelists, Dr. Sidhu, Dr. Shekhar, Dr. Dhananjay, Dr. Kishore, and Susee. Anything? Anybody wants to ask any questions to anybody?
Whether to run a nursing college to maintain the nursing staff, is it worth doing it? Anybody has tried among the panelists?
Dhananjay, many
Yes,
of
sir.
my friends have tried, but they are not very successful.
Okay.
In Bangalore, I don't know about other place because they are not getting the candidates.
We explored that, and we even had what we call as a Cloud9 training center, or CTC, and it is very bureaucratic. And I know 2 or 3 people of my friends who have hospitals and run nursing colleges, burned their hands, sold the colleges. So it's not a worthwhile proposition, at least in Bangalore. But I'm not sure whether in tier 2 cities, whether you have a constant supply. If you can explore. It's not been very.
Yeah, Kishore sir, we already asked and we already tried for the nursing college, because there are so many colleges in and around the Kolar, all KGF and other places, and what is it, Sambram and other things. It's not going to be feasible because nowadays nobody is joining, and it's become a big lobby for the brokers to bring the nurses for the state, and they will ask for a free education. Instead of paying. It's very
We'll
difficult.
take one last question and then we'll close. I think we are getting late.
Yes.
Amit
Sir,
has asked a question: is it better to have a central AC or a local AC in rooms, or ICU and OT? In our hospital, central AC and electricity bill is too high. It's 20 lakhs per month for 120 beds. Amit, I think you've answered your own question by mentioning that central or the split AC depends on your need. One thing is for sure, central AC has got advantages, split AC has got advantages, but the cost of running central AC will be very high.
Right.
Split AC has the advantages of shutting it off in most places when you are not using it. So the cost of running peripheral ACs will be much lower. So again, it depends on the facility you're running and where you are running. Because if you are running in, for example, Shimoga, which is going to be cold for 9 months in a year, you don't use AC, then you probably will do better with the central AC. But if you are going to use AC for 9 months in a year, then central AC will be very expensive. I think with that we'll close the session.
last question,
Because,
sir.
I have to answer that question, because now that we are OT and all the sterile zones, we cannot go for a split AC. Impossible. We have to have the centralized AC for.
No. I was not talking about the OT. I was talking about the whole hospital.
Okay. And then nowadays COVID is there. We were looking in for negative pressure areas. Negative pressure CPUs and negative pressure.
No, I agree. AC, I mean, you can't use a split AC in OT, and preferably you can't use in ICU also. But I was just talking in terms of general whole hospital, be everywhere and everything.
Sir, last question, sir, regarding construction. Can I ask last question?
Yes.
This is the last question. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. From Dr. Dhananjay. Like if it is more than 15 meters, we have to take a NOC from the fire.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
What is
So
NOC?
No objection certificate.
For what?
fire, sir.
Fire company, sir.
It is
Fire
called
company.
National Building
Take
Code,
boss.
NBC.
Hero.
Yeah, Dhananjay, go ahead.
Shekhar
And
is laughing. Shekhar is always handsome guy. Okay, sir, I think, sir, we are jealous about Prashant Gowda is sitting in the Himalayas. Okay, he is doing webinar from Himalayas and butterfly
Dinakara,
is
let him
backside.
finish the question, please.
Switzerland.
I think Dinakar sir, Sarji sir has got question still.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
last question, sir. Sorry, if it is a more than 15 meter, we need to get a NOC. Where like how to deal with that? Because with if we have to exceed 15 meter if you want to go for 100 or 120 bed in a limited area. I have building one 11,000 within 11,000 square feet, and it is very difficult to complete.
It demands for hospital, as per National Building Code, you have to take the NOC for the fire safety regulations. You have to provide sprinklers, you have to provide ramps. All these are mandatory nowadays.
Okay.
Dhananjay, in
Yes,
a
sir.
single sentence, if I can answer your question.
Yes, sir.
In
Please.
Bangalore, there's a restaurant called Thank God It's Friday. And it was
TJF.
closed down because the fire happened and people jumped and 6 people died. This is on Old Airport Road, Bangalore.
Carlton building.
It's 6 years and it's still not open because the legal cases are pending. So if you plan not to have any legal cases and any legality, and if you want to escape, then you can try. Otherwise, legalities have to be followed. There's no shortcut allowed because if there is a fire accident, then the owner of the hospital will be in jail. I think we talked about this in the previous the CME or webinar when Dr. Nandakumar Jairam spoke about it.
Sir, we have only on the fire, we have 1 hour, 1 hour talk with 20-30 minutes discussion is there because as Susee told, sprinkler is a must. On that very big debate is going to be there. Yeah, fire detection should be must. Sprinkler for that there is a debate class is there in India whether sprinkler.
Dinakar, I think
We will have a next class.
We will talk about in the next class, and we want to thank Susee for her time on Sunday evening for sparing with us and sharing her knowledge. We sincerely appreciate your efforts, Susee, and we sincerely thank Dr. Kotresha, NNF President, for staying for the whole length of the program. We thank all the office bearers and the audience who are listening to this and the panelists for contributing the discussions. Thank you very much. We'll close the session.
Prashant Gowda, you want to tell just
Okay,
last?
thank you, one and all.
Thank you, and we would like to express our gratitude and thanks to GenWorks, the Ganeshan team for their wonderful support, technological support. On behalf of NNF Karnataka, Sir Kotreshi, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, quickly you
I'm
can
very
see
thankful for this event because we have been all of, apart from academic activities, apart from this one, we have got the structural. Henceforth, the different fields of specialties are demanding the construction of the hospitals, how to take care, how to go to the granted level. Everything is coming under this KNF. I'm very thankful for our office bearers and EP members and everyone.
Susee, thank you very much. So kind of you. Thank you.
So nice of you. It was a healthy debate and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you very much for having me.
Shekhar, thank you. Sidhu, thank you. Everybody. So Gokul, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kishore.
Bye.